I'm Mark Hamrick with a Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. A new Bankrate survey finds nearly half of those in the workforce plan to look for a new job in the next 12 months. That includes 1 in 4 who say they're very likely to look for a new position. This comes at a time when the job market has demonstrated resilience, but it has also continued to cool. Even with the unemployment rate recently slipping to 4.1%, that's considered strong historically speaking. Others plan to do other things to try to improve their workplace plight. 44% of workers say they plan to ask for a raise over the next year. That includes a majority of the youngest people in the workforce, members of Generation Z and millennials. Many workers indicate they're prepared to be mobile, with 18% saying they're likely to relocate for a new job. About 1 in 3 say they're likely to ask for more work flexibility, such as different hours or the ability to work remote or from home. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
Begin. We are Guam. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 2:04 p.m. and that is your time check on the bright side on Wave 105.1 FM.
Hafa Adai at Wave 105 FM. We want to talk. We want to talk about the things that are important to our island and our community, and we want to talk with you. If you want to join the conversation, if you want to chime in, we welcome it. We welcome all points of view, all thoughts, all perspectives. Call or WhatsApp us at 671-922-1051. If that line is busy, then call us at 922-1052. This is Talk for Everyone. Thanks for listening to Wave 105 FM, the Talk of Guam.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the bright side with Pauly Suba every weekday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can listen to us online on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. If you want to join the conversation, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 2. You can also send us your comments on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. GTA, we start with you. Code School of Guam. Learn, code, and lead the island's first coding boot camp. Your future in tech begins with us at Code School of Guam. Local Jerk. Spice up your life with the hottest jerk to hit your mouth. Follow Local Jerk 671 on Instagram and Facebook or visit localjerkguam.com. Micropack is open at their Timoning and Mall location. Check out their Instagram at Micropack671 or Micropack Inc. on Facebook for exciting deals and promotions. Sentinel Security Solutions. Guam premier provider of professional security services. Sherwin-Williams. Rain's coming fast. Are you ready? Defend your home with Sherwin-Williams Loxin. Engineer for Guam's dry to wet season shift. Built tough, made to last. Protect what matters today and ask Sherwin-Williams. And our other final sponsor is Subway. You gotta refresh to be fresh. Now's the time for your real deal traffic report here on the bright side. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Hagåtña if you are heading to the intersection near the Hagåtña Library. Slow traffic on Route 1 in East Hagåtña if you are heading southbound to the intersection near the Guam Auto Spot. Slow traffic on Route 14 into Munning if you are trying to make your way to the intersection on Route 1. Slow traffic on, let's see here. Slow traffic on Route 2 in Hagat. This is in front of the Hagat Marina. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. Pavement striping and marking activities will continue along Route 1 from Route 8 to Alupang Beach Tower. Work hours will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Intermittent lane closures in both directions are expected during work hours. Motorists are advised to plan accordingly and proceed with caution. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the bright side.
The The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome to it, another Brightside right here on Wave 105. Biba Webis, it's Thursday, July 31st. Our number is 671-922-1051 or 1052. We're online, thewave105.com, as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. We actually have our guests in studio already, so if you're tuned in to our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam, I want to introduce you to Marcus Xiong of Set TV, headquartered in Taipei, Taiwan. Hafa Adai, Marcus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Xiong, and I'm a senior producer at Set TV from Taiwan. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you so much. And we know our regular and who has been such an amazing citizen and former talk show host on News Talk K57, Dave Duenas. Thanks for introducing me to Marcus.
Oh, by all means. You know, it's a pleasure to have you, Marcus.
So
Welcome to Guam.
I wanted to ask, how did you find Dave before we start talking about the conversation?
Oh, because I'm concerned about how people on Guam respond to the potential crisis, and I found his article, and I decided to contact him. Yeah, nice. That's now how I know Mr. Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dave puts out a number of op-eds at local news outlets, right?
Correct.
And so what was the op-ed that interested you?
About bomb shelters.
Okay. So Dave, can you just share for our audience that hasn't read this op-ed that got Marcus's attention and ultimately Taiwan News
Yeah.
attention?
You know, I was flabbergasted, shocked that my article that I wrote, and it was published in both of our media.
PDN and the Post?
Correct.
Got it.
And Marcus reached out and says, bomb shelters, you don't have one in Guam? I said, not that I know of. Every person I spoke to here in Guam, namely Homeland Security, Civil Defense, we don't have a bomb shelter. It's our concrete homes.
Right.
And so with that said, you know, ever since back at the K57 days, I've been a big advocate of trying to get our government to do something about that. You know, I understand that our concrete homes would provide some kind of protection, but I'm more concerned as well with individuals that are homeless and people with substandard houses. They're not. And even our concrete homes, they're not going to withstand a direct hit from a missile. No. And, you know, in light of what we got, $5 billion supposedly going to be infused into Guam for hardening our infrastructure, the missile 360 missile defense shield. All of that is ongoing talks with our governor and the military folks. I read about it, heard about it, and there was nothing mentioned about nothing about building or addressing
or even asking for any of these fundings from Congress to build a fallout shelter. So I just wanted to ask you, Marcus, Taiwan, you have concrete buildings?
Yes, we do.
And you have fallout shelters?
Actually, we use our basement, and we use our subway metro. Metro system is underground, and it's like 4 or 5 levels underground. So that should be our place to hide and know, and especially recently our government is inspecting those basement. Is this basement okay for people to fit in, and do they have water? Do they have food? Do they have any basic tent something that when people evacuate to those basement that they can stay there for at least 1 week. Yeah, that's our basement do. Yeah, and we also use like garage or basement garage to use them as our shelters. But the basic thing is to have at least electricity, water, food for people to stay in there for at least a week. Yeah.
So these have been constructed like years ago.
Because we have a lot of earthquake in Taiwan, so the basement is necessary. But we just started to use all those basement as our shelters. Yeah, we started thinking to use them. Yeah.
And so when a new facility is constructed, is that part of the requirement that there must be a basement?
Actually, every building in Taiwan needs
a basement.
Needs a basement, yeah, and because like I mentioned, not because for the bomb or the raid, originally because of the earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're out here to speak to people like Dave and speak to people like from the Pacific Center for Island Security.
Yes.
The president of our former Congressman Robert Underwood, possibly the government. And so what are you seeking to focus on?
Actually, I will try to, but I'm not sure if I can find. I want to find some like civilian defense group, because I know it's when crisis happen, it's not just about the government and how people can help each other. So I'm trying to reach to civilian defense group, something like that.
Yeah. How does Taipei? How does the government respond to emergencies?
Well, it's different levels. Okay,
Yeah.
so when before the crisis happened, and we have like exercise to prepare that. So like this year we have a Hangguang exercise. It's a military exercise, and we combine with the military exercise with our civilian exercise. Like when the siren alerts, then how people should stay off the street and stay under the table or find a shelter, and if the crisis happen, like if there's a lot of damage or people hurts, then help to categorize different people's how they are wound, and we will categorize them, and who should be sent to the hospital, should be do the medical right now or something. So we have different groups: medical group, telecom group, the police, fire department. Everyone has a role to play during a huge crisis.
Understood. What about corporate businesses and whatnot?
Oh yeah, that's one of the exercise, but not really. But I can share some my experience in Ukraine, because I've been to Ukraine.
Okay.
After the broke out. Like we went to there's a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
They produce a lot of medicines during wartime. It's like 2 or 3 times much more than normal times, and they find actually they find local people or all the men who is not served in the military to play like a driver or a transporter to send the medicine, pharmaceuticals to the front line.
Understood.
Yeah, so not everyone has to be in the military, but everyone has a role to play. That's the how I learned from Ukraine. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to. I hate to compare because it can be apples and oranges, right? We are America, right? And our population is even smaller than Taiwan, right? Just Taipei, what's the population?
Oh, it's a good question. Median. I'm not sure the number, but median, yeah.
Yeah, right? And so our population is 150,000, right? And so we have a lot of open spaces. I've never been to Taiwan. Do you you've seen how Guam looks? You see how separated I imagine you have more towers, more people are living in skyscrapers, right? And we don't necessarily have that. I think maybe living quarters, maybe 10, 12 feet high. Otherwise, they're hotels.
Yes.
But for the most part, single house dwelling homes, right? And so I understand that you can compare the two. I get all of that. But some of the concerns are in the community, and I've been trying to track as well, is how does our community get their notifications?
Okay.
And so just yesterday, we're not getting push notifications in our telecoms, right? Of an advisory, or it got upgraded from a watch to an advisory. How did our community get this information? We got it through radio. We got it through this station.
Yep.
We got it through social media on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And so the Office of Homeland Security and Civil Defense has a Facebook account, and they put a lot of great information, and they communicate well and partner well with the National Weather Service office in Tizen. But the problem is the website has been down for quite some time, and that's where the plan is located. It's not on the Facebook account, and they have a link to the website.
Does it work?
It does not work.
Oh.
So does your community, do they get directed to websites for plans?
Yeah, actually, we do have like push notifications.
Right.
That if no matter it's a tsunami, it's not a typhoon, it's not maybe it's a missile attack alert, something that we will get push notifications. And with the push
how often do you get missile advisories?
Not really often.
Not often.
Not
okay.
often. That usually during the exercise we
Okay.
get that, and we have the Chinese version and English version.
Got it.
Okay, and with the notification we have a link.
Yeah.
That usually we have a link to see the government instructions, like how do you guys find shelters near you. So we can with the link you can easily find the nearest shelter near you, so where you can find, and you can go to hide yourself. And in addition to that, like I'm from media, right? So we also get the instructions from our government.
Right.
So the no matter the anchor or broadcaster can easily to share the information quickly, and also with the social media.
Right. So, in the plan, from what I saw in the past, was that schools and teachers are involved. They play a role, right? Because if there is a man-made disaster or a missile coming in our direction, it could be on a Wednesday, and it could be at 11 a.m. When school is out, right? Or school is in session.
Actually, when I was a child, this kind of exercise is part of my life. So, but in the past, we usually to prepare it for like earthquake or big, this how to call that, the weather or something.
Okay.
But recently, we start to talk about missile attack.
Yeah. And so I have a child. He's going to be a senior.
Oh.
But I've had 3 kids that have gone to public school for the last 10 years. They've never had one exercise that had to do with man-made disasters. Earthquakes, typhoon, fire, even intruder that would come into a school. They've had those. But so there's a plan that says the teachers are qualified and have been trained. I've only asked a small snapshot of teachers, and they are not aware of this plan.
Okay.
And so these are some of the concerns again. And in the plan that I saw for man-made disasters coming from a foreign nation that are heading our way, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And so I saw a plan that says teachers know what to do. They're going to shut down the school, and they're going to shelter in place. And so are businesses, and would allow people from the street to go into those businesses. Do businesses know this?
Yes.
And for how long are they going to stay open? When do they close their doors? When do they keep it shut? And how do we get this information? These are concerns. And so when I heard Dave said that the two of you have made contact, well, I'm like, here's how our community can understand an island, a nation, a country like Taiwan, right, that is constantly being harassed.
Like we are.
Right? But I would say even you're in the first island chain, right?
Yes.
So I appreciate some of the information that you can provide us on how your government and how you as a reporter, you as somebody in the news is also able to share information. And so maybe I could ask you as somebody in media in Taipei, Taiwan,
Sure.
what happens when there's training? What is the difference, and how do you push out that information?
Well, it's a good question because we are so familiar with this kind of training because, like mentioned, we started to do the training since we are child, but like I mentioned, because we train for earthquake or fire or big disasters, not because of missile attack, but recently because of the the tension between China and Taiwan, so we started to really focus on this thing. And as a media, actually we are still learning. It's also our first or second time to train or to spread information like this. So it's also our first time.
Oh,
to
that's
do that.
good to know then.
Yeah. So we are still trying, and
right.
we are still training. And in the past two exercises, I mean in the past 2 years, we started to know, okay, at least as a reporter that we can share like more information, or before the exercise or before the crisis, or we know the crisis is going to happen, that
right.
we can share information on how people can hide and can find a shelter. And I'm not only a journalist, I'm also a podcaster. So I'm also a video podcaster. So I can share.
Hey, you're kind of like me then.
Yeah, you're right. So I can share
show and
from different channels. Yeah. And because of that, so not only journalists and not only the government, people on Taiwan are getting more concerned about how they can hide and how can they protect themselves. So we have more and more civilian group that they can form the medical team or something during the crisis. So even in the exercise held by the government, the civilian group, they also play a role in it.
So we have WhatsApp and we have a chat where all media outlets are. So like yesterday when there was a tsunami, what is it? Advisory.
Yeah.
But even before that, we were all notified. And so we kind of share information at this point. We don't work in silos anymore. Is that how the news departments work?
Yeah, we have like group chats.
Okay.
And also have I can try to show you, but I'm not sure I can still find it. But our Central Weather Bureau, they also have a official page or official account.
Yes.
But it's on another social media. It's called Line. Yeah. So not only journalists, media, people. People like you. Everyone can get an
Just a private citizen is added to that chat?
No. Actually, everyone can add to that chat.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a government page that shares information.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Do the people that join that chat? Do they make comments? Because
no, they can't.
They cannot.
They can just
only receive.
Yes.
That's actually a really good.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Because we don't use WhatsApp that
Right.
often, so Alliance our the major channel that we can get information.
That's really good advice. If we have not yet done these digital push notifications like Hawaii and Japan and even Taiwan have done, maybe that could be something that the government does through WhatsApp, and then also only receiving messages and blocking out anyone sending. Yeah. Because then the information can get lost when everybody is sending information, right?
And it doesn't need a lot of budget.
Right.
It's very easy to do that.
Absolutely. That's really good advice. Charlie Hermosa is a good friend of ours, and he fills in here on the show. Actually, he's a guest host on our Vet Talk. And so he's somebody that you should also get in touch with. He says, great conversation. Would love to connect with Marcus. We have a relationship on the tech side with Ukraine. Thanks, Dave. And they can also, Dave and Charlie can also connect you to our veteran community too. Yeah, and so like you are saying that the residents of Taiwan are becoming more concerned.
Yes.
We are, I believe our community is just as much concerned. But a lot of times too, we're concerned about just regular quality of life.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so what I also don't want to do is I don't want to create this fear, right? If we don't have to create fear, let's not create it, right? Because that's just the ethical thing to do when you're in media, right? Is not try to not create harm, right? And so what about tourism? Do people talk that this kind of conversation or hardening infrastructure or putting up alerts constantly can also affect tourism? Are those
Actually,
conversations being had there in Taiwan?
Because it's not this kind of exercise or rehearsal is not held every day. Maybe 3 or 4 months, or even maybe like half a year. We have this kind of exercise, and if it's not a military drill, usually we have the exercise for only about 30 minutes to 1 hour, so it will not affect tourism. And actually, I saw a lot of comments from the tourists. They said, "Oh, they are part of the drill." Of the the siren alerts or something, that they are thrilled to be part of it.
Really?
Well, yeah. So I have friends from Korea, from Japan. They will comment on the website. So, oh, maybe it's the first time for them to experience something like that. So I don't think that will affect tourism. And like I mentioned, it lasts about 30 minutes to 1 hour. And after 1 hour, they can go out shopping or continue their trip.
What about interceptors and whatnot? Certain type of equipment that are like in the city. Do you have any of that?
Sorry.
Like interceptors or
You mean interceptor?
Sure, yeah, or any kind of. I mean, obviously, we're not seeing interceptors in our driving by, but we do see those golf balls, right, and those radars that people are concerned about. Well, what is that, right? And so, do you have those kinds of concerns about hardening infrastructure, whether it's military or anything like that? No. Okay.
No. Yeah. And we are encouraging people to familiar with those like interceptors or missile launcher presence in our daily life. Yeah. People were concerned, like you mentioned. We don't want to fear people,
right?
But we want people to be familiar with those military presence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Familiarize and normalize.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up something real quick. We hear, what's going on with Israel, Iran, Hamas, the different conflicts we have around the world. And Israel, I bring that up purposely, they have one of the most advanced missile defense systems.
The Iron Dome.
That's correct. And if you're not aware, and for those of you listening, it's not 100%. Some of the missiles fired from Hamas and from Iran do make it into and takes lives in Israel. It is not 100% at all. I bring that up because, we're in the midst of going to be building a missile defense system here in Guam. And I keep telling the people, that's great. We do need it. It ain't going to hurt, that's for sure. But it ain't foolproof.
Well, that's what the PCIS said, right? And you've talked to Congressman Robert Underwood. In their release, they say the MDS is not a shield. EIAMDS, which is the air missile defense system, has been noted by the DOD to deter adversaries from attacking the island and complicate adversary plans. But at the end of the day, it is only designated to manage small-scale coercive attacks. And when I read that, I'm very concerned about that. And they even provide sources showing that they fall short of it being a complete shield.
Correct. Yeah, and again, Pauly, you mentioned it real quick. This is not about fear-mongering at all. It's about being prepared. We have to be prepared. And that's the whole reason why I even dabble into this topic, Are they going to listen to Dave Duenas? Probably not. But collaboratively, people like Marcus coming to the island and say, hey, do you guys got a bomb shelter? I said, yeah. He asked me jokingly. I jokingly replied to him. He says, Dave, can we take a picture of a bomb shelter? I said, yeah, pick any house.
Yeah.
Pick any house you want out there. That's
and
our
we
bomb
know
shelter.
this because that was what the Office of Civil Defense Administrator Esther Agagi said when they were talking in her opening remarks of the tabletop exercise. We have indomitable concrete buildings. And so I would say you please reach out to the Office of Civil Defense and ask for yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of concrete house in Taiwan, right? And there are a lot of concrete house in Ukraine, but we also see that how they are affected by the missile attack. So, like the the firefighters told me in Ukraine, they told me that it's not the same as like fire, like gas explosion. It's total different level of disaster if there is a missile attack.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned, you utilize in Taiwan basements.
Yes.
Do we have basements?
How do you
A few.
How do you secure
don't
the
have
basement
subways.
from the rest of the space?
Sorry.
How do you secure your basement though?
Well, it's a process.
Okay.
In the past, people use as a storage house, right? Some people put a lot of stuff in, and after the government start to inspect those basement, they clean it out, like they use like an empty place, and just for water, for a little food like cookies, bread, something like that, and it's a regulation that people cannot put the personal items in that place.
And what about oxygen flowing?
It's not very easy to do that
Right.
because it's just the normal basement
Right.
of the houses. So if there is like I don't know, the harder things happens, we still don't know how to do that.
Right.
But in our in some basement or in some like medical and like hospitals or something, they do have like mask.
Okay.
But we still have a lot to do. So yeah,
Right.
it's a good question. Yeah.
Right. And so there is still some uncertainties, even though you have that as a solution in a sense. It's still not foolproof either.
Yeah.
Right, because oxygen levels can only stay at a very healthy rate for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you need to pee,
Right.
then where do you find a place?
Understood.
Yeah, but like I mentioned, that our government and our civilians start to concern this recently in the past few years, and we are trying to give them the more scenario to help them to prepare.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have still a lot of things to do, but it's a progress.
Well, I really appreciate that. Are there community fallout shelters?
Community fallout shelters, I think.
Where if they're on the street
Maybe
and
it's like we have a lot like park or like community center. Yeah, we also use them.
Okay.
Use their basement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Well, I really appreciate you taking the interest in Guam, and so you'll be here for a couple of days. Yeah. I hope you get all of the sources that you need to complete your story, and so
thank you so much.
Whatever I can do to try to connect you with some people too, I'd be more than happy.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
And you know what?
Yeah.
One thing that we brought out in this short conversation, we need to push communication, not only just for missile attacks, for everything.
For everything, yeah.
We don't have, as far as I know, a civilian defense group. Not that I know of. We don't.
Well, National Guard.
Well, that's not civilian defense group, as Marcus was alluding to.
So explain what a civilian defense group is. Maybe I don't understand what that is.
That is, they are not from the army, from National Guard. They are just civilians like you and me.
Okay.
Yes.
And they form a group of 10, 20, or maybe 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are big groups or small groups.
How do you stand one a defense group like that up?
Sorry.
How do you stand it up? How would you started
Develop
up.
it,
Yeah.
Start-
And is sanctioned by the government?
No. Usually it's formed by friends.
Yeah.
Or by have like the same mindsets.
Yeah.
They will get together. In the past, they have like just panels or talks.
Yeah.
And recently they start to do something.
Cool.
That's how they formed.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you'd like to know from us?
Yes, I think a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just because Guam plays a vital role, like you mentioned in the Second Island chain, and I also think Guam has a very strong relationship with Taiwan, and we want to have more cooperation with Guam, and also have more talks with Guam, and maybe we can build some I'm not sure, the people-to-people connections, and maybe we can have these kind of talks more often.
Yes.
And maybe you can come to Taiwan. Dave can come to Taiwan. We can also talk about this, and not only about tourism. We
Right.
can talk about culture, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think something very similar is PCIS. When you shared that with me, I was like, well, that's Pacific Center for Island Security. And so that's a start right there. Yeah?
Yep.
All right. 2:39 in the afternoon. We will take the break. Wave 105.
CBS News special report. A 28-year-old Arkansas man has been arrested in the killings of a married couple in front of their children on a hiking trail at Devil's Den State Park there over the weekend. Arkansas State Police Colonel Mike Hager.
Arkansas State Police special agents have arrested James Andrew McGann, 28, of Springdale. He's been charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the deaths of Clinton David Brink and Kristen Amanda Brink.
State Police Major Stacy Rhodes said the Brinks had just moved from South Dakota to the small city of Prairie Grove in northwest Arkansas.
He just recently moved here and had gotten a job to work at a local school here.
Their daughters, who are 7 and 9, were not hurt. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
It's a long road ahead, and the grieving process has just begun. And I hope that our entire state will wrap their arms around this family.
CBS News special report. I'm Michael Toscana.
Workers on the move, hoping for better pay. I'm Mark Hamrick with a Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. A new Bankrate survey finds nearly half of those in the workforce plan to look for a new job in the next 12 months. That includes 1 in 4 who say they're very likely to look for a new position. This comes at a time when the job market has demonstrated resilience, but it has also continued to cool. Even with the unemployment rate recently slipping to 4.1%, that's considered strong, historically speaking. Others plan to do other things to try to improve their workplace plight. 44% of workers say they plan to ask for a raise over the next year. That includes a majority of the youngest people in the workforce, members of Generation Z and millennials. Many workers indicate they're prepared to be mobile, with 18% saying they're likely to relocate for a new job. About 1 in 3 say they're likely to ask for more work flexibility, such as different hours or the ability to work remote or from home. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
I'm Larry Magid with the Connect Safely report. The American Psychological Association released a health advisory about the impact of artificial intelligence on adolescent well-being, and found that the impacts are complex and context-dependent, neither wholly good nor bad. For learning, it said, AI can assist in brainstorming, creating, organizing, summarizing, and synthesizing information. But it also found that adolescents may struggle to distinguish between the simulated empathy of an AI chatbot and genuine human understanding. Connect Safely Education Director Carrie Gallagher suggests that parents model their own positive use of AI.
The more we show them how we're using it and how we're thinking about our interactions can encourage their healthy development and use with AI over time.
More at connectsafely.org/radio. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
A major AI company prohibited job seekers from using AI on their applications. Here's why it changed its policy. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. The company is Anthropic, and its AI chatbot is called Claude. Like some other companies, it prohibited job applicants from using AI to refine their resumes, cover letters, and applications. But now the company says it uses Claude every day. In fact, it uses Claude to create job descriptions, improve interview questions, and manage candidate communications. So the company figured it's it's only fair that candidates can use such tools too, but only up to a point. Job seekers still can't use AI when given problems to solve or being interviewed. And with AI improving by the week, don't be surprised if the rules at Anthropic and elsewhere change again before long. I'm Jeff Colvin.
Great harmony with Discord. This is Soundbites, and I'm Alan Davidson. Gamers know Discord, but there's a lot more to this innovative social media service with a weird name, and much more than just the latest Minecraft hacks. For example, did you know that you can use Discord to build your own unique online community, both for live chat and video communication? And that thousands of dedicated Discord servers now cover a huge and growing variety of different topics. Even though the shift started only 5 years ago, more than 150 million users are now benefiting from the platform's versatility. And more join as non-gamers leave other social platforms looking for new online homes. So who knows? Maybe the next breakout Discord server will be yours. Check out the world of Discord at discord.com. With Soundbites, I'm Alan Davidson for CBS News.
Think you've got what it takes to win? Tune in every Friday on Wave 105 FM with Patty Arroyo for the Hilton Trivia Challenge. Test your knowledge and you can score dinner for two at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. It's brought to you by the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa only on Wave 105 FM.
Attention parents, give your child the most well-rounded curriculum for elementary and middle school students taught by the best in their field. Mount Carmel Academy Charter School offers Chamorro, music, and martial arts in addition to a robust reading, math, and science program from instructors that include Mel Cruz, Bert Sardoma, and world champion DJ Jackson. Take advantage of this opportunity. Enroll your child today at Mount Carmel Academy Charter School. Call 565-5128 to reserve your child's spot now.
Meet the Fanguput Samoru. Let's get together Guam style at the Tumon Night Market. Every Sunday from 5 till 9 p.m. starting August 3rd, it's all going down at Pleasure Island in Tumon. Enjoy local food vendors, specialty pop-up shops, interactive Chamorro cultural activities, a kids zone, dance performances, and live music. Admission is free and all are welcome to the Tumon Night Market. Every Sunday night, brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau. We'll see you there.
Hafa Adai Guam, it's The Guam Guy, and my podcast is now playing on Wave 105. Catch me every third Friday right after Patty at 10 a.m. for all things environment and adventure on The Guam Guy Show.
At Bank of Hawaii, we're committed to helping everyone in Guam reach their possible. That's why we're proud to announce the opening of our new Tamuning branch and West Pacific headquarters across from Guam Premier Outlets. Our new branch of tomorrow features a modern, welcoming space with island hospitality, all staffed by our local financial experts and trusted team you've come to know. Right now, earn a cash bonus with the opening of an eligible savings account. Bank of Hawaii. Member FDIC.
It's the July Freedom Sales Event at Guam Auto Spot. Drive home a brand new 2025 GMC Canyon for as low as $336 per paycheck, or the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for just $198 per paycheck. Active and retired military members get special discounts just for serving. Plus, check out our huge selection of quality used cars, priced to move. Get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Celebrate freedom. Drive with AutoSpot.
Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the bright side. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in East Taganya if you are heading southbound to the intersection near the Guam Auto Spot. Slow traffic on Route 10A in Tamuning if you are heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Tamuning if you are also heading north or southbound to the intersection that leads to Route 10A. Slow traffic on Route 14 in Tamuning if you are trying to make your way to the intersection on Route 1. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. The DPW contractor will continue grass cutting at the following locations between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. today, Thursday, July 31st. to tomorrow, Friday, August 1st, weather permitting. On Route 1 Marine Corps Drive, Route 8 Barragata, Route 10 Barragata Manilao, Route 16 Barragata Harmon. The DPW asks motorists to please proceed with caution and remain alert for traffic control signs and work crews. And that is your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Tasego, Kiantego, be my cradle, be my womb. Tasego, my misnapo, be the stillness of the moon. By the light, it's sky horns, a place I never knew. Baby, so get home to a light that leads me back to you. I did
All right, welcome back to Brightside right here on Wave 105. My name is Pauly Suba. Biba Webis. It's Thursday, July 31st. We're online, thewave105.com, and our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. So I'm not sure why, but the legislature, they were set to come back at 2 p.m. to begin voting. And I could not tell who was there. It did not pan out to the entire legislature, but the Speaker, Frank Bloss Jr., and Miss Renee are the only two people that you see. And
Legislature will continue to stand in recess until 4 p.m. Until 4 p.m. today.
No other reason. Recess until 4 p.m. Speaker did not look happy, though. He didn't look happy. I told you guys 2 p.m. I told you 2 p.m. I don't know. You can't see who is there and who's not there, but they will be back at 4 p.m. Also, did you know Hot Girl Summer is over?
I saw that.
Okay. Just a gentle reminder from Intern XCX. I don't know who Intern XCX is.
So the billboard looks like one of the albums for Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX is
I think Charlie D'Amelio, right?
Musician?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's a singer.
She's a singer?
Yeah.
Her last name is D'Amelio?
I think it's one of the D'Amelio sisters, if I'm not mistaken.
What
but
song
her
do they
own
play?
album is a Brat album. You will see it looks like that. Tell me. Does it look like that?
No, Charlie XCX is Charlotte Emma Atchison.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
No worries. She's a British singer and songwriter.
Yeah.
Is she the one that said "That's So Brat" and everybody says "That's So Brat"?
She has a Brat album.
Okay.
Look at the album and tell me if it looks like the billboard.
Okay, it's that vomit green.
Sure.
What else? What other color is that?
Well, yeah, it looks like the vomit emoji.
Vomit green. So I'm just trying to better understand it. I thought it was fake, to be honest with you. I thought somebody
I thought it was
like created a
AI.
like AI'd it, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody is a critic when it comes to the billboards.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe somebody was just making fun and used AI to create this billboard that was right there at the intersection that said, "Hot girl summer is over." But we have an explanation from the Attorney General's office.
Okay, I'm curious.
Yeah, okay.
I'm ready.
I'm curious too. Well, okay. So this month's AG and summer interns, Big Beautiful Billboard. That's what we're calling them now. The Big Beautiful Billboard. Hot girl summer. All right, I said hot summer girl is over. Hot girl summer. What is hot girl summer? That's something that people were saying like years ago, right?
It's like,
what is?
It's like when you get your body ready and you're like, "Hey guys, it's hot girl summer." You know, like how Jersey Shore, how they like get their body ready to go to the Jersey Shore house.
When you get your body ready.
Yeah,
What
like
is?
when you work out or like.
Oh my goodness, I haven't had a hot girl summer in
That's why
decades.
when they had this, they had that trend, big back. They're like, it's not hot girl summer anymore. It's big back summer.
So I don't understand why it needs to be intern XCX though. It should have been Megan Thee Stallion, the intern, because apparently that was Megan Thee Stallion. She popularized hot girl summer.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, probably one of her songs.
Yeah. Emphasizing self-confidence, empowerment, living life to the fullest. It's about embracing your best self, doing what makes you happy, not worrying about what others think. So I guess hot girl summer is over, so you gotta worry about what other people think. Okay, so here's the official explanation from the Office of the Attorney General. Kids, summer is over. Time to hit the books. Okay. That's not as fun as I thought it was going to be.
Okay. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Even the way it's worded for the kids, you think?
Well, I mean, okay, so let's finish it off.
Okay.
Right? To be fair, let's get the whole message.
Okay.
Today marks the end of summer as students across Guam return to school. Well, some still have 7 more days, right?
Yeah, that's right.
GDOE has 7 more days, August 7.
Mm-hmm.
The AG joins with our summer interns, heralding to our younger clients, we hope you enjoyed your summer. Now it's time to lock in, pull up, and succeed. Wow, look at the AG with this phrase.
Hey, trending, using trend.
Lock in, pull up.
Locked in, pull up, skirt, skirt.
No brakes, all gas.
So is that a hard launch or a soft launch?
Success includes stopping school violence and remembering meth kills. Be smart, don't start. The fundamentals for success remain timeless. Respect one another and focus on the 3 R's. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Is that the 3 R's?
3 R's? I don't know. I've heard of 3 R's, but writing's not. I think you're missing a letter.
To be fair,
Back to...
it's writing W capital R.
Okay. Let's say back to DI.
Arithmetic, lowercase a, capital R in arithmetic. So there's your 3 R's. So the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. You just have to see it. Because obviously the 3 R's.
You have to see the whole thing.
Otherwise it's the RWA, and that just doesn't sound as cool as the 3 R's. So education opens doors and remains the key to life. The key to life, that's who is that? Foxy Brown?
Oh.
It just reminds me of a rap song now. Key to life's real successes. The AG's 19 summer interns developed this month's billboard. While scanning important criminal and civil files, joining with the AG Moylan, they reflected upon an effective message to bring a smile to their returning classmates' faces. I guess it kind of does give me a smile. And then when I read Time to Hit the Books, I'm not sure I want to smile anymore if I'm a student. Let me see here. But it's all starting to make sense to me because I was really like confused about it all. This AG believes in hard work and rewarding true grit. This summer, our AG interns chose not to waste their summer break, stepping up to earn spending money whilst helping our people's toughest law enforcer protect us. They digitally archived about 261 bankers' boxes full of case files, or about 1,305,000 pages of documents, while learning law office operations. They saw what bad acts get bad consequences really means. 2 of the 19 interns even directly helped attorneys earning internship hours instead of a summer salary. Kudos to them. Our interns' message to the peers: you have options, better ones. You can live a life filled with purpose and with pride. You can become Guam's next wave of lawyers, doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, public servants, even the next Attorney General of Guam. AG Moylan expresses education is your greatest tool to success. Participate, learn, excel, and have fun. Raise your hand in class, aspire to be the teacher's pet, engage in school functions, join clubs and athletics, apply for the National Honor Society, NJHS, or NHS, not the National Honor Society, or the National Junior Honor Society, and learn as much as you can to make the honor roll. Meth and school violence are not cool. Losers, be a winner. For additional information on our Meth Kills and Be Smart, Don't Start campaigns, please visit guamattorneyggeneral.org/methkills. And so, after reading all of that, though, it's more lighthearted, and of course, when you think about what the summer internship program is all about, that's the governor's summer employee program,
Summer
right?
Youth employee, yeah.
You can't hate on it, and probably, I commend the Attorney General's office to empower their interns and say, you guys come up with the next billboard.
That's being more involved.
And that's what they came up with. And so there's a story behind it, right? And so it doesn't all say it there, and I'm with you. When I first saw it, I was a little bit confused. Is this a joke? It's not. So again, the AG summer interns in the big, beautiful billboard says, Hot Girl Summer is over, which also means kids, summer is over, time to hit the books. We hope you enjoyed your summer. Now it's time to lock in, pull up, and succeed. And so, no brakes, all gas. KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Toscano. The manhunt in Arkansas for the suspect in the murders of a married couple in front of their 2 young daughters on a state park hiking trail has ended. State police have arrested 28-year-old Andrew James McGann from Springdale and charged him with 2 counts of capital murder in the deaths of Clinton and Kristen Brink. Claire Everbach of KFSM TV has more.
Police said the Brink family was notified of the arrest just after it happened and that the motive of the crime is still being investigated. State Park said that the trails at Devil's Den remain closed and they're taking their time to reopen them.
The couple's 2 young daughters were not harmed and are now with family members. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I want to be clear that if you commit a violent, senseless act here in our state, our law enforcement will hunt you down and bring you to justice.
There has been a verdict in a closely watched murder trial.
A jury has convicted Colorado dentist James Craig of first-degree murder in the poisoning death of his wife.
We, the jury, unanimously and beyond a reasonable doubt, find the defendant, James Craig, guilty of murder in the first degree.
Prosecutors say he laced Angela Craig's smoothies for more than a week in 2023, and when that failed, gave her a dose of cyanide, which made her brain dead. They also accused him of trying to cover it up by asking his daughter and fellow inmates to fake evidence and give false testimony. Matt Piper, CBS News.
President Trump says he has a deal now with South Korea for a 15% tariff on their goods, and he says he's on track to close other deals by his August 1st deadline.
We're now negotiating with various other countries, and the rest we're just sending out the bill to. We send a letter saying that you'll pay a certain tariff.
Delta Airlines Flight 56 en route from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam diverted to Minneapolis this past evening because of in-flight turbulence. Injured passengers were transported to local medical facilities. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said at a Wednesday hearing on the deadly Washington, D.C. collision of a passenger jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter that Black Hawk altimeters are notorious for being wrong.
You're not questioning as you're moving through the airspace. You're not sitting there and looking at your barometric altimeter going, okay, let me do some math and figure out if that's right.
Astronaut Reed Wiseman says the astronauts NASA hopes to fly around the moon next year have visited the spacecraft.
Artemis is the right program at the right time to get a sustained human presence on around the moon and off to Mars, and we believe in it.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Happy Gilmore has something new to be happy about.
30 years ago, I decided to give golf a try.
Happy Gilmore 2, the follow-up to the 1996 hit movie starring Adam Sandler, had the biggest opening weekend in the U.S. of all time for a film on Netflix, with more than 46 million views in 3 days. Sandler paid tribute to an old friend in the film.
Wow, that is some Stone Age shiznit.
One scene features a clerk watching the sitcom Jessie on TV with actor Cameron Boyce, who died when he was 20 after suffering a seizure 6 years ago. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Ada Valley Meat Company is recalling more than 1,000 pounds of fully cooked frozen ground beef that may be contaminated with metal. The USDA says the meat was shipped to establishments and distributors in California, Delaware, Illinois, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Balanced, fair, thoughtful. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 3:06 p.m. and that is your time check on the bright side on Wave 105.1 FM.
We're excited to announce that we're hiring for a variety of positions with some of Guam's most recognized and respected brands, including Coca-Cola, Foremost, Chili's, Glimpses of Guam, Subway, Good to Go, and Cinnabon. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take the next step in your career, there's something here for everyone. Explore current opportunities and apply today at applynowguam.com. Your next great opportunity is just a click away.
The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Code School of Guam. Learn, code, and lead the island's first coding boot camp. Your future in tech begins with us at Code School of Guam. GTA, we start with you. Local Jerk, from our family farms to your family table, savor the freshness. Follow Local Jerk 671 on Instagram and Facebook, or visit localjerkguam.com. Micropack is open at their Timoning and Mall location. Make sure to follow their Instagram at Micropack671 and Micropack Inc. on Facebook for exciting deals and promotions. Sentinel Security Solutions, delivering operational excellence and protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. Sherwin-Williams, rain's coming fast. Are you ready? Seal your roof with Sherwin-Williams silicone roofing, engineered for Guam's toughest weather. From blazing sun to pounding rain, protect what matters today and ask Sherwin-Williams. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience, or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Wise Out Animal Hospital. The Go Guam Support Local campaign is proudly sponsored by Wise Out Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like the valued family members they are. Wise Owl, the wise choice in animal care. Now it's time for your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in East Agana if you are heading southbound to the intersection near the Chief Kapua Park. Slow traffic on Route 10A in Timoning if you are heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Timoning if you are heading northbound to the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. Pavement striping and marking activities will continue along Route 1 from Route 8 to Lupang Beach Tower. Work hours will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Intermittent lane closures in both directions are expected during work hours. Motorists are advised to plan accordingly and proceed with caution. And that is your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
I ran into this girl the night before. She reminded me of a golden shore. She was nothing like your average girl next door. She liked DVDs, tattoos, and Paramore. She'd say Hafa Adai, por favor. And I'd say sad dispenser to Gaigi Kulor. She'd paint colors round the galaxies and more. I ran into this girl the night before.
All right, welcome back. 3:11 in the afternoon. Biba Webis, it's Thursday. Here's a gentle reminder once again. Hot girl summer is over. I feel bad now, though, because I didn't even get my hot girl summer body ready at all. And now summer's over.
I didn't get a chance.
I did
missed
not.
It.
Oh,
Next summer.
Oh, well, I got a whole another 9 months. But shout outs to the summer interns at the AG's office, and all the summer interns, right? Because let me see here. I saw a release from Crystal Pacos and Augustine on a number of initiatives that they've done. Well, they're working. There's a whole lot of... okay, so let me see here. Summer interns. sparked change with a $20,000 donation drive and tree planting effort. They wrapped up another season of giving. The interns from the Governor's Summer Youth Employment Program. That's all of them. That's every intern. The whole program is called Governor's Summer Youth Employment Program. And so they wrapped up another season of giving back to the island, organizing a successful donation drive to support youth in need and planting hundreds of native trees to help protect Guam's environment. This year, the Summer Youth Employment Program interns came together to collect an estimated $20,000 worth of much-needed items, including bedding, new clothing, personal hygiene products, school supplies, and other essential items. These donations will help local organizations support young people as they prepare for the new school year. In addition to the donation drive, interns also got their hands dirty by planting trees at the Esgadao reforestation site in Malesu. This hands-on project helps reduce soil erosion, restore native inhabitants, and support the island's long-term conservation efforts. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero praised the interns' efforts, saying, "Our youth have once again shown what it means to care for each other at our island. Their leadership and compassion gives us hope for Guam's future." The lieutenant governor said, "Beyond gaining work experience, these students have made a real difference. They've proven that young people can lead the way in serving our community and protecting our environment." Over 800 students from across the Guam participated in the Governor's Summer Youth Employment Program this summer, working in various government agencies and completing special service projects that positively impacted the community. And so, great job to all the Governor's Summer Youth interns, right? And so, just so you know, you see that big green Charlie XCX billboard, the big beautiful billboard. Here's a gentle reminder: hot girl summer is over. Juan's on the line. Hafa Adai, Juan. Juan, you there?
Yes, Pauly, Hafa Adai. This is Juan Malamunga.
Hey, how's your hot summer body doing?
They never knew I had one.
What's going on, friend?
Well, you know, Pauly, that day we had a conversation, and later on in that day, you put out something about what our good congressman was pushing. He was pushing for higher allowance for civilians that are
yes, DOD civilians.
For the federal government.
Yes.
I think you need to send him that YouTube video when I said that what he needs to push for. There's more important things than that.
Okay.
Because you see, he said it's going to help businesses and all that. That's just going to help the cost of living go up. Why doesn't he push for something for the people of Guam? Anyways, I heard that, I don't know if you heard the good senator's bill yesterday, the very first good senator that presented her bill, Senator Calvo.
Shelley Calvo.
Did you hear that?
Okay.
Yeah. Did you hear her bill?
Remind me.
It calls for transparency, calls for improving how the government efficiency. It calls for,
Do you know the bill number?
No, it was the very first one yesterday.
Oh, on the session floor?
Yes.
Okay.
She was the very first speaker on a bill yesterday.
I might have missed it.
It sounded like it should have been like a bill that says prevent corruption in government.
Okay.
Because if you listen to how she speak, everything was about transparency, for the government, so they can improve. But the only thing that she didn't say was anti-government, to prevent government corruption.
Okay, yeah.
So that bill might not go far. It might get vetoed. Yeah, there's just too much in our government.
I'm trying to see, because I didn't see that. The first bill that I saw this morning, yesterday was Bill 17, and that was I always get them mixed up. Sabina Perez. That's what I saw them talking about.
No, there was one before her.
Before? I
The
missed
very
it
first
then.
speaker was Senator Calvo.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm on the site now.
I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah, I'm on yesterday's site, and the first person, when I fast forwarded to 8 minutes, it's Sabina Perez.
Well, it could be after her.
Okay.
Well, it was Senator Calvo's bill.
Okay.
But it's
I see her talking about it. Oh yeah, Bill 7. So it's not. It's. Let me see. Let me just double check. I think you heard her speak, but I don't think it's hers. Bill 17. I'm about to find it.
No, it wasn't her bill. It wasn't her bill. She wanted to be added as a sponsor.
Okay, I found it. It's Sabrina Perez. See, they even. Oh no, it is Sabina Perez.
It is Sabina Perez
Yeah.
bill, but she wanted to be added as
Got
a
it.
sponsor.
I hear it. I got you. Yeah. Finds that the public auditor shall conduct annual audits and post audits of all transactions and accounts. Audits performed by the Office of Public Accountability aim to evaluate if an entity complies with the current policy and procedure and its efficiency. OPA performance audits serve to optimize operational performance and demonstrate good stewardship of public funds.
Why don't they pass a bill to make every director have requirements? Because there's some agencies is not appointed, the director is not appointed because there's requirements for that position.
I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, well, some of them there are requirements. If they meet those requirements, they can be director, like a college degree.
They need to have a requirement for every director because this is the problem, Pauly. You might have a librarian being the director of public works, for example. And I'm just throwing that out there, for example.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Right.
Yeah. So, there should be requirements for every director's position. That way, they have an understanding of the functions of that position, and they can fulfill the obligation. Because, Pauly, the reason all these things are happening is because you have people in positions of responsibility, Pauly, and they cannot even meet the simple task of following whatever rules they need to follow. Why do they have to pass a bill like that? They should be fined like $1,000.
Well, I know that so they did do that this time around. They did. If they don't turn in their audits in time, they are fined. I think $250. So there's something like that in place already, and
That's a slap in the wrist.
Some will say that. Some will say it's a slap in the wrist, and some will say otherwise. Some will say differently. Depends on who's paying the bill.
Pauly, let's make a bet. Simple bet. Simple. I'll let you make the dollar amount, or it doesn't have to be done. Or it could be lunch. Okay, I can guarantee you that it's not going to work, and it will continue. And if you want to make that bet that you're saying it won't continue, I'm going to say it's going to continue.
I'm not gonna. I can't even bet $1. I don't have that. I don't even have trust in that will happen. Will no longer happen. I won't even put a quarter on it. So
see, that's how much trust you have in the government. You see, Pauly, that means you and I know that $250 fine is not going to work. They need to make it hefty, because if they make it a hefty fine, Pauly, the senators can have the appropriate time to do the budgeting.
Well, here's the other argument, right? And this is the one where I agree. Also, with because the Attorney General has made this statement too, and so has the President of the United States. He or she needs the cabinet members that they can trust and also be loyal to, because you don't want a rat, you don't want a leak in your cabinet that is just giving out all the information that you're trying to pursue and I'm not saying corruption. I'm just saying that things need to go out when the governor says they go out, not anytime sooner. Or if they're no longer aligned with their narrative or with the agenda and start pushing out information that goes against what the agenda is of the president or the AG or the governor. And so that's the whole reason why they want a cabinet that they feel is going to be loyal to the governor or to the AG or to the president. With that said, though, they do find these people that are qualified based on the prerequisites to get the position. And so maybe the standards need to be raised. But I mean, I know Guam Regional Transit Authority, you had to have a college degree. And so there was some, questionable authority from the board. They didn't realize that the director at the time that they approved to be director didn't have that. So, I mean, that's an example.
Pauly,
yeah.
A lot of people now have degrees, but what happens is you put that guy who's got a degree, and it could just be business management, and you put him in a department of administration, for example, and guess what's going to happen? He doesn't know anything about finances. So you think that they're not going to have problems? There should be more than one requirement besides a degree. There should be experience in whatever that office is doing. I can understand where you're coming from about loyalty, Pauly. But guess what, Pauly? These people that are in these positions that might have loyalty, okay, but are they qualified? This is the reason why, Pauly, the government wants everything to the ground. They can't manage anything. Look at our hospital. Look at it. We can name a few: public health, Simon Sanchez. Look at the school now. They're still having double sessions. There's two, a middle school and a high school. And they can't manage anything. They got all these schools that they're closing down. Why didn't they turn a school into a high school or a middle school? The Mooning mayor's been crying for a middle school because they need one.
Right. But that's not on one person, right? These are issues that have been ongoing far before Superintendent Eric Swanson, so it can't be all on him.
Well, Pauly, this one with shutting down schools and turning it into CIFA, this on him. But this is on him when you have Simon Sanchez and they're closing schools down. This is on him when they cannot convert schools that's needed. This is on him, Pauly. He didn't just start last year, Pauly. He's been here for a little while.
Yeah, but FBLG
is sharing campus.
FBLG was falling apart when it was John Fernandez, right? So they're just trying to address the issues. Same thing with Simon Sanchez. They were just delaying.
Right? So why didn't they talk about converting those schools to what it needed?
Yeah, and so we only started to hear that conversation with when Superintendent Eric Swanson came in to decommission schools, but there's been some pushback. When I first heard it, I was pushing back, and then I was showed up to press conferences, had conversations with Eric Swanson, and so now I better understand, and so I understand exactly where he's coming from. He's been trying to maximize the populations, and knowing that the populations have already decreased. I don't believe that it's his fault. He's trying to find solutions, but there are politics involved, and it is affecting the way he can lead. And I wouldn't say it's his fault. He even says it. He didn't realize when he pulled the layers of the onion what all was happening here.
And he's got a doctorate degree.
Yes.
And you see, they cannot figure it out. Do you see how much education our people have, and they still can't figure it out? There's too much politics. I don't like to say politics; it's politics.
I agree with you on that sentiment. There are a lot of politics. Yes.
Politics, Pauly. Yeah. Just like that senator, the good senator, is a veteran that announced he's running for governor. Golly. It's part of the tricks again. You know, that the one, I'm here and we can do what we need to. I'll work with anybody so we can accomplish whatever needs to be accomplished. That's the same old line, politics, Pauly. I'm sorry, man.
No, I'm giving you the opportunity to share it. I mean, I've heard this sentiment before. You're not the only one, so.
Yeah, but you see, Pauly, I don't even have a degree, to be honest with you. I don't have a degree, but it's all common sense. But, sometimes people with too much education, they lose the common sense. That's what my experience with a lot of people who are educated. Some of them lose common sense because their brain got fried while they're going to college. They lose common sense. Yeah.
I know where you're coming from, and I agree with you on at some extent for sure. I know where you're coming from.
Congressman needs to push for more housing. I just left Camp Block.
Yeah.
And if they're telling me that the airmen saying the barracks are not sufficient, why is it they're building barracks for Marines? Okay, and they're building a whole new base. Why is it they cannot improve the barracks for these people?
They are improving the barracks. That's the whole reason why the Secretary of the Navy said that this is deplorable, and so they're moving actually a lot faster than I thought they were to make sure that they start repairing all of that.
There's no movement in the Air Force Base to improve the billeting or housing. Doesn't look like there's movement. But there's a lot of housing on base. There's a lot of property up in Anderson. There's a lot of housing, Pauly. They're just not being used. They tore down a lot up in Anderson.
I think also in Navy.
Yeah, they did. Just imagine, we also had a Navy golf course that they shut down. There used to be a housing area over
At
there,
Nimitz,
too.
right?
So, go ahead.
At Nimitz, right?
Yes, Admiral Nimitz Golf Course inside Radio Barragata. There was a housing area in there, and there's a golf course. And when they shut the golf course down, the property's still there. Okay, why don't they build housing? You see how much property that the Navy has in inventory?
Yeah.
Pauly, there's just too many excuses. Our congressmen should be pushing for the military. Same thing with the governor, to be pushing for housing, because our housing market is not enough. And then we have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of people that cannot afford the cost of living here in Guam, because the military is what's driving that cost up. And nobody can say I'm lying, Pauly.
Oh, I agree with you 100% on that. The OHA is driving the cost of housing up, yes.
You put these people on base housing, Pauly, and now there's less military living off base. I can almost guarantee you within a month the housing prices are going to drop. The rental prices are going to drop. Because now you have more homes, apartments available for the everyday people that cannot afford the high cost of living in Guam. You hear them talk about the 4 people, but you never see them talk about what they're going to do. This can help fix that, Pauly. Why is it they can't do it? What's stopping them? Maybe they don't hear me. Or the other people that's been saying it. Because I'm not the only one that's been saying it.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I hear Liz over there at Remax. Liz and what's her name? They're always saying it. KWM News is always covering it. So why is it our lawmakers are not hearing it? Our governor is not hearing it. But yet, they like her commercial, one pill can kill. But they never find anything at the port. Only drugs are being caught is at the post office.
Or the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean to tell me that no one's using the port to bring them drugs in? They should ask all those government officials that keep getting caught with ICE. One of them was a director.
Allegedly. We have to still say allegedly. Thank you for not saying the name.
Allegedly, I'm sorry, allegedly, but hey.
It's in the... You are correct. It is a public document. It was in a magistrate's complaint. So you're following along.
Well.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Just how about this one, Pauly? The guy that used to be a DOC guard, and they hired him at the port, and now he's involved with the PUA fraud.
All alleged.
imagine? Well, he's moving up in his. He's moving up with with the amount of money he's trying to get rich overnight.
Alleged.
Almost $2 million. That family. 1.9 allegedly. And that man, and then his family member is gonna run for governor. And I didn't know. Oh my goodness, Pauly.
I don't even need to say anything. You're bringing the receipts, and I appreciate it.
Pauly, you know what we need in Guam? We need Doge, because they cut out the government corruption. Because you see, just imagine the government fraud. That if they look further, there's more government fraud in other places besides Department of Labor. Guarantee.
Not just here in Guam.
Not just here in Guam.
Right.
But you see what happens. You see, this is what happens, Pauly, with greed. When people become greedy.
Well, human beings are we're not perfect. And so who's running the government? Human beings are running the government all over the world. So
but guess what happens, Pauly?
I'm just trying to. If dogs were running the government, I don't know how efficient it would be, but probably zero corruption.
Oh, golly, Pauly. I don't know what is it gonna. Like I said to you, what is it gonna take? Why do we even have lawmakers? Why do they keep proposing these laws when people keep violating it that work for the government? Does that make sense, Pauly?
I understand. It's a snapshot too, though, because there is good work that is happening. There are good government employees, just like there are corrupt police officers. There is still a great police force, and I would say
you are correct, Pauly. I'm not saying
right, and so that's why I would say, well, why should we still elect our officials? Because I don't want them all appointed. I would rather elect them than have them appointed.
There are a lot of good people out there,
yes.
And there are a lot of real, and it's so sad that they say a few bad apples.
Right.
There's more good people out there that is helping our people of Guam, but the very few ones that are in positions that are preventing the gooder to coming out. It's stopping whatever good, because these bad actors are people that are way up there, Pauly.
Well, and that's the whole, whether we agree with some of the people that are in high positions or not, that's why I appreciate the discourse, because if we just take out anybody and say, listen, this person doesn't agree with the governor, get him out of there, then who then is going to question the governor? And then vice versa with the AG, vice versa with the senator. So, what I've always appreciated are senators that were even like watchdogs, people that I consider Senator Joanne Brown, Speaker B.J. Cruz, who's over at the OPA. They'll call it out. And so sometimes every now and then when they become very critical, all of a sudden here comes some kind of bad publicity to kind of lower their credibility. And that even goes for the AG. If you don't like what the AG is doing, there's quite a lot of bad credibility there's quite a lot of releases or statements being put out there to lower his credibility. And I would question all of that, whether we agree with him or not. I think that same thing with the governor of Guam, Governor Lourdes Leon Guerrero. I question where some of the rhetoric is coming from. It's why? Because you don't agree with her narrative, with her agenda. So you're trying to lower her. You're trying to discredit her. Like, these are our elected officials, and they will soon be gone. So.
Yeah, but look at this, Pauly. Look at this. Since that governor's been in there, why is it you can see the president of the this president of the United States, I'm not saying he's the best president, but if this president can go to work every day and get something done for the people.
Is he going to work every day? I see a lot of times he's playing golf, though.
Well, not
on weekdays. On weekdays.
Not a lot. Not a lot, Pauly.
Okay.
He's a lot working, okay? He's a lot working, more than playing golf.
Okay, well, I've never seen the
governor.
governor.
Been in there going to be 8 years when she's done. Does our governor accomplish anything in the 8-year period that this president has done, even in 6 months?
Well, I haven't seen any photos of the governor playing golf. That's what I haven't seen.
Well, what do you don't hear what governor doing anything? They fight about a hospital. Why can't they get along and fix it? Simon Sanchez, look at that. They've been fighting for that. How long? It was over 1 decade. Going on 2.
Well, I know. I agree that there has been delays, but the governor did sign an official rezoning to clear the way for utilities, infrastructure, and marking the start of a hospital construction. And I'm not going to defend the governor. I'm not going to defend the AG, but I would say that just watching what they do, what they are doing, I would not say that they're not doing anything. Either one, and either side, and senators and whatnot. Unless you've got the footage, let's roll it.
The AG shouldn't be a government of Guam agency. They should be They should not even be close to a government agency. Because if that agency wasn't a government agency, I can guarantee you, Pauly.
But then, what kind of credibility would they have with their findings if they're not a government agency?
Pauly, if that wasn't a government agency, there'd be no government corruption because that agency will prosecute corruption.
But that's every private attorney's office, though. That's not a government agency.
No, private attorneys, Pauly, they're there to get paid by people like me and you to hire them.
Right, yeah.
But that agency should be an agency to enforce the laws.
Under what?
All the laws.
Under what government?
Laws that there is.
Right.
They're the law enforcement agency.
Under what? It would still have to be under a government,
Department of Justice.
Okay.
It should be a federal
U.S. Department of Justice. Well, we have that already. The U.S. Attorney General. The U.S. Attorney General. That is separate.
They don't do anything against government.
But that's not a local. But that's not a local government Attorney General. That is from the U.S. Judiciary.
The federal would just fund it, but that Attorney General's job should be to prosecute any kind of corruption. That way, you won't have any of these problems. Probably since the 80s, government corruption's been around, and it's gotten worse. You cannot tell me no, Pauly.
Well,
I can guarantee you the internet was around in the 80s, and like KUAM News has been covering all these news, and if they went back to the 80s, Pauly, I can almost guarantee you it's been over 50 years that this has been ongoing.
Yeah, the United States Attorney for the Districts of Guam is responsible for United States territorial courts, Guam, the CNMI.
Pauly, I went to the FBI here in Guam, and I showed them a lot of my documents. But as you can see, even there, nothing happened.
So,
can you believe that?
That's the problem. That's the issue, right? I'm trying to understand, but even the federal government has seen your documents and still nothing.
Politics. That's why.
All the way. So it's not just our local government that you're saying that is inept. The federal government is inept.
Of course, Pauly. Look what's been happening lately with the stuff that's coming out.
Okay.
The Russia illusion bull crap.
Well, now the Trump administration has taken over. Maybe they'll look at your documents again.
Well, Pauly, look at this. They're pushing the Epstein thing with Donald Trump.
Right.
Why is it when Obama and all those Democrats were in office, in power, including Biden, why didn't they show it so that Trump's name can show in the Epstein case?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up too, because
You know why they did it, Pauly? Because it's going to show a lot of Clinton.
it probably will show a lot of Bill Clinton. It probably will. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Bill Clinton will probably show up more than Donald Trump.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But still they need to protect the victims though.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
That's why they're hesitant probably with releasing it, because there's a lot of victims, and can
Yes.
you imagine the victims? And then think about
So now the
people
Trump
here.
administration is in charge. So when will they release the Epstein files then?
I have no idea. But
Exactly.
they've
See,
been
because he
releasing-
promised
they've been
ever
releasing
since
more than any Democrat.
Before he became
presidency
president in
that
2016, right? He was saying he's going to drain the swamp. So here's his opportunity 2 times. Drain it.
Well, now he's doing it.
I want to see it. Drain it all. Drain it down to the gutter.
Yeah, he's draining it. That's why you see what's happening with the Democrats.
Because both sides will be hit,
They're
both the
crazy.
Republican and
They're
Democrat
running
side.
crazy.
Nobody's innocent. Nobody's
You're
innocent.
right.
Both sides are going to get hit.
Yeah. Politics. Politics.
All
We
right.
need to stop the politics.
Juan, I got to run. I got to run for the break,
Pauly,
okay?
nice talking to you.
Oh, thank you for calling. Always appreciate
All right,
it. Okay.
All right, bro.
Okay, you take care. 3:43 in the afternoon. That's a conversation that we should have had tomorrow. That's a fun Friday convo. It's only Thursday. Wave 105 will take the break.
CBS News special report. The Arkansas manhunt is over for the suspect in the murders of married couple Clinton and Kristen Brink, killed while hiking with their 2 young daughters over the weekend. State Police Colonel Mike Hager.
Clinton and Kristen were killed on Saturday, July 26, 2025, at Devil's Den State Park. The suspect was taken into custody this evening at 4:57 p.m. at a business in the Springdale area.
28-year-old James Andrew McGann of Springdale has been charged with 2 counts of capital murder. The Brinks' 2 daughters, 7 and 9, were not hurt in the murders and are with family members. State Police Captain Stacy Rhodes.
They were notified just after we made the arrest. They were actually one of the first people that we went to notify, and as you can imagine, it opened up a whole different set of emotions for the Brink family.
Police have not mentioned a possible motive for the killings. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Toscano.
Why longer-term CDs can make sense right now. I'm Mark Hamrick with a Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. With inflation still running above the Federal Reserve's 2% target and policymakers holding off on rate cuts for now, CD yields, primarily on longer-term maturities, remain attractive for savers seeking stability and peace of mind. If the Fed does begin easing over the next 6 to 12 months, as many expect, today's CD rates could represent a peak. Locking in now before rates drop can offer the best of both worlds, safety and return. Long-term CDs come with guaranteed interest and principal protection, a powerful combo in an uncertain economic environment. They can be especially useful for conservative savers or those nearing retirement, providing a stable, predictable way to grow savings. And if you're worried about tying up too much cash, consider a CD ladder, blending short and long-term maturities to balance yield and liquidity over time. Shop around for the best CD rates and lock in yield while the locking's still good. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
I'm Larry Magid with the Connect Safely report. An increasing number of young people are being targeted by scams designed to exploit them. And if this happens to someone you love, don't blame the victim. Connect Safely Education Director Carrie Gallagher helped draft recommendations from the Online Child Exploitation Prevention Initiative.
The overall message of any prevention program should be that when and if this happens to you, we've got your back. And the people who perpetrate these particular types of schemes are very good at what they do. So when and if it does happen to you, just know it's not your fault and we want to support you.
So regardless of whether the victim is a child or an adult, it's important to realize that the victim is not to blame. Try to put aside any feelings of shame or guilt and seek help. More at connectsafely.org/radio. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup at your convenience or delivery right to your doorstep. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
We've heard parents say, we want to send our kids to Mount Carmel School, but it's too far. To that we say, how wonderful for your child to choose their own path. What an amazing way to teach your children to go the distance and go the extra mile. Give your child the most unique curriculum on Guam. Enroll today at Mount Carmel School. Call 565-5128 immediately. Now the only question is, how far would you go for your child's education?
Get double the speed at zero extra cost with GTA Fiber. Experience super fast and reliable fiber internet speeds, now starting at 200 Mbps to 1 gig, with upload speeds just as fast as download speeds and 100 times faster than cable internet. You can enjoy lag-free gaming and clear video calls. Fast is also affordable. Sign up for Fiber 200 for only $70 a month. Visit gta.net or call 644-4482. Terms and conditions apply.
Meet the Fanguput Samoru. Let's get together Guam style at the Tumon Night Market. Every Sunday from 5 till 9 p.m. starting August 3rd, it's all going down at Pleasure Island in Tumon. Enjoy local food vendors, specialty pop-up shops, interactive Chamorro cultural activities, a kids zone, dance performances, and live music. Admission is free and all are welcome to the Tumon Night Market. Every Sunday night, brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau. We'll see you there.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Hafa Adai, Guam. Engage in a conversation made for the veterans of Guam with Johnny and Miss Bobby. We want to hear concerns and comments. Tune in every Wednesday for our new time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Wave 105, the Talk of Guam.
Get ready to run for something bigger than the finish line. It's the Run for Wishes. Saturday, September 13th at Leo Palace Resort. Choose your distance, 2K, 5K, 10K, or half marathon, and help grant life-changing wishes for children through the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Guam and CNMI. Every step you take brings hope. Every mile makes a difference. Early registration opens soon. Run for Wishes at Leo Palace Resort. Brought to you by Leo Palace Resort, Clutch, Glimpses Media, Protection Concepts Unlimited, and Cars Plus Guam.
It's the July Freedom Sales Event at Guam Auto Spot. Drive home a brand new 2025 GMC Canyon for as low as $336 per paycheck, or the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for just $198 per paycheck. Active and retired military members get special discounts just for serving. Plus, check out our huge selection of quality used cars, priced to move. Get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Celebrate freedom. Drive with AutoSpot.
Now's that time for your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Munning if you are heading northbound to the intersections that lead to Route 30 or Route 14. Slow traffic on Route 10A into Munning if you are heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Ajigo if you are heading northbound. This is in front of the McDonald's restaurant. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. The DPW contractor will continue grass cutting at the following locations between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, August 1st, weather permitting, on Route 1 Marine Corps Drive, Route 8 Barragata, Route 10 Barragata Manilao, Route 16 Barragata Harmon. The DPW asks motorists to please proceed with caution and remain alert for traffic control signs and work crews. And that is your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
ASLA Guam is where I'm from. Tautanu Itamoru, kingdom of our people. Guam, island in the sun. From Jigo to Malessu, this land is all that we know. I said this land is all that we know.
All right, welcome back. The Bright Side right here on Wave 105. If our government is going to be corrupt, it better just be filled with our people then. If all governments are corrupted, then let's just make sure that there are people that are in our government. Let's see here. 671-922-1051 or 1052. There's a lot actually that is scheduled for tomorrow, right? Like as early as 8 in the morning. And let me see here. So the commemoration for the 75th anniversary of the Organic Act, the signing of the Organic Act, it all starts tomorrow around 8 a.m. See if I can pull up all of the events here. I had it all. Oh, here we go. Let me just pull up the flyer. And so it starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. at the Adelup Courtyard for the flag raising. Then there's going to be a naturalization ceremony at 9:30 a.m. at the Session Hall at the Guam Congress Building. And then they'll all have another flag raising at the Guam Congress Building at 12:45 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building. They'll have the opening ceremony at 1 p.m. It's about an hour over at Plaza de España, so it's just across the street. And that'll open up the Hafa Adai experience, and which will begin at 2:30 p.m. and the historic Revitalization Festival that officially begins at 4 p.m. and will go all the way till 8 p.m. And so all of that is happening at Plaza de España, beginning with the opening ceremony at 1. There's going to be a panel discussion called Critical Conversations on the Organic Act, Our Journey Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, which will take place at 3 p.m. at the Session Hall at the Guam Congress Building. Speakers are Dr. Robert Underwood, Lisa Baza, and Pauly Eric Forbes. I want to say today, it's only up until August 1st, so it's over because they close the History of the Courthouse exhibit today at 12 p.m. So, I mean, you might be able to still see that, but it was scheduled to end today at 12 p.m., right? Because today's Thursday. Tomorrow is August 1st, but it's Friday, so you might be able to still get a tour tomorrow. And the exhibits will be open at the Guam Congress Building and the Guam Museum beginning tomorrow at 11 a.m. They'll do a massive Thanksgiving on Sunday, August 3rd at 9:30 a.m. at the Cathedral. And then, of course, the Governor's Awards for the Longest Service Award and the Director's Choice Award will happen at the Government of Guam Employees Labor Day Picnic at Ipao Beach on Sunday, August 31st. So those are all of the events. Most of them, almost all of them, are tomorrow. Joe Malik is on the line. Hafa Adai, senor. Hey, who else are you listening to? There's somebody else? Your TV?
Listening to Laura Thunder.
What channel is that? What are they talking about?
It's 117 legislative program.
Is it Guam's legislature or the CNMI?
No, Guam. Laura Thunder. Legislative session. They turn it off. No, I was watching Carlos P. Caetano.
Yeah. Cornerstone, right?
Huh? I think it's Cornerstone, but I was watching him explaining the Garrick Act. We went to ATI, the stateside news, and also the Hawaii news outlet, to push for the Garrick Act.
Yeah.
And there's so many other, they call it Guam Congress delegate or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and Caetano was called by President Truman to witness the signing of the Organic Act. They're off now.
Okay. Was that playing on the legislature's channel just now? Was that playing on the legislature's channel just now? The Cornerstone?
No, they're off now.
Okay. I know that they're going to go into session at 4 p.m., so that's what I'm tracking. Senor, I actually messed up. I got thrown off so bad. I was supposed to have a conversation with Farron Tyre and the Guam guy at 3:40 this afternoon. And I'm even having a conversation with him on WhatsApp. He's basically said, "Are you calling me or what?" I totally forgot. So I got to go to break, and then I'm going to get in Farron as soon as we come back from the CBS News. So I apologize, senor. I got to run, okay?
No problem.
Okay. All right. Just 3:59 in the afternoon. We are KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Michael Toscano. The multi-day manhunt in Arkansas for a suspect in the killing of a couple hiking with their children has ended with an arrest.
In Arkansas, police say arrested and charged is 28-year-old Springdale resident James Andrew McGann in the killings of Clinton and Kristen Brink. Authorities say the couple had been hiking with their 7- and 9-year-old daughters on Saturday at Devil's Den State Park when they were attacked. The children were not hurt. Colonel Mike Hager, head of the Arkansas State Police.
We have a building full of criminal investigators from state police, local agencies, federal partners that are unshaven. They looked unkempt. They've not slept in days. They've barely taken time to eat.
McGann faces 2 counts of capital murder. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Those young girls are being cared for by family members. Hearings have begun on the mid-air collision at Reagan National Airport outside Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people in January. CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve is covering the investigation into the crash of a passenger jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter.
Investigators are focused on potentially inaccurate altitude readings from the Black Hawk that in testing were found to be off by as much as 130 feet. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
We are working diligently to make sure we know what occurred.
The National Transportation Safety Board is now in the midst of a 3-day investigative hearing in Washington focused on answering investigators' lingering questions.
25 passengers were injured after a Delta flight from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam encountered turbulence and landed in Minneapolis this past evening. President Trump has announced a tariff agreement with South Korea. Alex Jensen reports from Seoul.
Tariffs on U.S. imports from South Korea have been lowered from 25 to 15%, with Seoul also agreeing to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on U.S. investments and energy products. An even larger sum could be announced when South Korean President Lee Jae-myung visits the White House to meet President Trump within 2 weeks.
In Danville, Virginia, 38-year-old city councilman Lee Vogler was seriously injured Wednesday by a man who stormed into an office where he's employed. Andrew Brooks is Vogler's boss.
An individual forced his way into our office carrying a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline and poured the gasoline on Lee. Lee attempted to flee, ran to the front of the building. The individual followed him and set him on fire.
Vogler was transported by medical helicopter to a burn unit in North Carolina. 29-year-old Shotzi Michael Buck Hayes was arrested at the scene on charges of attempted first-degree murder. Police say the dispute was not related to Vogler's city council work. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-375-8936. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-375-8936, 800-375-8936, 800-375-8936.
Have you ever wondered why some ancient structures stand the test of time? It's the old concrete.
During your summer vacation, you may have spotted concrete used by the ancient Romans in aqueducts and buildings like the Colosseum. While modern concrete only lasts about 100 years, the author of a new study in the cell-press journal iScience, Paulo Montero, says even with evidence of ancient concrete still in existence,
you can study the beauty of the Roman concrete, but do not necessarily translate to modern requirements.
Modern concrete is responsible for about 8% of the world's carbon emissions. The paper says Roman concrete wouldn't be much better. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Roughly 70% of Americans say they find interacting with automated phone systems versus human customer support representatives frustrating. So Democratic Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego and West Virginia Republican Senator Jim Justice have introduced a bill to ensure that consumers who call customer service are speaking to a human. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Keeping the flow through your day. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 4:04 p.m. and that is your time check on the bright side on Wave 105.1 FM.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back to Brightside right here on Wave 105. Once again, we're going to be reaching out to Farron Tyron, the Guam guy. 'Cause yesterday, I am a huge fan of Farron's, right? And so if you don't follow the Guam guy on Instagram, I highly encourage you to do so. And so I saw his video of taking tsunami warnings or any kind of alerts seriously. And so I, like him, was convinced at a very young age that tsunamis would not affect us because of the Marianas Trench. They had told I was told our reefs are so far out, and so it creates the barrier that stops the tsunamis from getting to us. And I believed it, for quite some time. And then it wasn't until 2011 where I really understood how it can affect us with some of the surges, right? And so the Farron is on now, the Guam guy officially. Hafa Adai, Farron, I apologize, my friend. That is totally my fault. I asked if you could, if we can have a conversation at 3:40. And 3:40 had come and gone. We were kind of having a WhatsApp conversation. You reminded me. I'm like, hey, you're calling me, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I just totally forgot. And so I appreciate this conversation now. I appreciate all that you do on your platforms. educating, but in a way that is so very entertaining and engaging. And so I was sharing with our audience a little bit about what you were sharing right from the get-go. And I had that same thought process, or I would say that I don't know who told me, but I believe that tsunamis could not affect us in a negative way. And I kind of just wanted to have that conversation with you on what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, sure.
And so based on your Instagram video, right, you kind of just shared that we should be very aware of our surroundings and take these tsunami alerts seriously.
Yeah, so like I don't remember who it was or where I was, but I remember just sitting somewhere in a room with people smarter than me, which is, a lot of rooms. But I remember like, we can't get hit by tsunamis here. We got the trench on one side and we got reef on the other, so we're safe. And then somebody's like, nope, that is not true. And then I'm like, okay, prove it. I'm like, I'm open-minded. Show me something convincing, and I'll give it a fair look or a fair listen. And sure enough, they busted out some information. And I'm like, okay, you got my attention. And shortly after, you changed my mind. So the most recent example of a tsunami, and maybe I'm not the best person to define a tsunami. I think in our minds, when we hear that word tsunami, we imagine this 60-foot wave just coming, just washing over entire areas, right? But let's if we consider a tsunami, that's one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, we can see stuff we've had historically happen here on Guam. The most recent of which that I'm aware of is the 2011 earthquake in Japan, which preceded or propagated the whole nuclear Fukushima power plant problem, and then we got some effects from that here. So someone told me, and I can't find this written anywhere, but someone told me the sea level in Apra Harbor dropped 10
It did. I was there. It did
You
drop.
were there?
It dropped, yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, the ships had to go out to sea, and some of them did not go out. But a lot, like the Coast Guard cutters, they went out because they were concerned about the lines that were keeping the ships and the Coast Guard cutters close to the pier side. And
course,
so, what you reported on is true. It snapped and affected the submarines. Yeah, and so I didn't witness it, but I was there when they were reporting on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that it had dropped, and then it came back up, and it snapped lines and pushed submarines into the wall, the seawall. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't do quite the deepest dive. I just saw like wave action rip the subs off of their moorings, and I don't know if we still have diesel subs anymore, but like nuclear subs like getting ripped off without a crew like controlling it doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
I was just looking for the 10-foot drop part because that sounds pretty substantial. It's like we have the big recede, and then a big wave or some waves like coming in. Sometimes it's multiple waves, right? Or maybe it's oftentimes.
Yeah. And so when I saw the message come in from the U.S. Coast Guard that these ships are going to be leaving the pier or leaving the harbor, I knew exactly the reasons why they needed to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? With that, and I'm sitting around and I'm hearing, okay, we're going to get these tsunami alerts. We have the tsunami alert, and I wonder if people are going to like heed the warning because I'm born and raised here, and I grew up with that myth that we're immune to tsunamis, and knowing that it's not. Like, all right, maybe I should just look at the record a little bit. So I did a very easy search, and I found an article. What is this? The Tsunami History of Guam, 1849 to 1993. And I found about 10. There's like 10 instances in there listed out of effects on Guam, including one fatality. I can send this link to you, or I can send this to you if you want. But I did some highlights. 1837, 1849.
How did you find all that? Interested me. I was thinking that you can't find some of that stuff unless you go literally to the mark and find these articles.
I don't know. Like I'm a millennial, so like my Google skills are like in that sweet spot between. You know, I learned to type on a keyboard and not on a phone, so like I'm in that sweet spot in between generations, I guess.
Okay, I think I might have found it. Is it researchgate.net? I don't know.
It's in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you call it? And I just wanted to see, I just wanted to just list a few of those. 'Cause
Right.
I try to keep my minutes to a video.
Right.
My videos to a minute just to understand people's attention spans and times are limited. We always, and it's not even a knock on people. We all got families. We all got things calling us away. So
Right.
try to keep things short and sweet when we're not all going for our drive home and listening to your show.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that you went that far back, that you were able to find some data from 1849 and 1892. That's what really got me to know. I'm like, wow, okay, so he didn't just pull from 2011 or 1993. You went all the way back to before the U.S. even had control over Guam.
Yeah, so it's all in this one paper, everything I cited. And let me shout out the authors because
Sure.
I didn't really do anything. I'm just regurgitating what they wrote. So
Sure.
this is the Tsunami History of Guam, 1849 to 1993. James F. Lander. I wonder if he's related to the Mark Lander who passed away. Lowell S. Whiteside, and locally Paul Hattori. Well, I'm sure that's of the UOG Hattori fame.
Right.
Yeah, so this is all their work, and I'm just kind of regurgitating it. So shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, since you shout out the 1849 event,
Right.
I want to just read a sentence or two from that one.
Sure.
And I'm just going to repeat it right from the paper here. The only reported loss of life was to Josefa Lujan. So we got names in here.
Yeah.
A woman caught by one of the 3 reported tsunami waves near the Talafofo River. She was from Agana and going to Inarajan. She is the only reported fatality due to a tsunami in Guam's history. Her 2-year-old niece received bruises on her face and was carried 40 yards and deposited among some rocks. So, yeah, it's nothing happened yesterday, and I'm wondering, and I'm not wondering, but nothing happened yesterday. And so I got a comment saying afterward, like, yeah, but nothing happened. And I'm like, yeah, good, but here, what if it was the other way?
Right.
What if we didn't get that, warning sent out and something happened? People would be like up in arms, like, why didn't they say anything? We should be able to have this information and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And, I live and breathe risk management with all the weird stuff I do. And,
Yeah.
I didn't get into a car accident today. Doesn't mean I don't wear my seatbelt tomorrow. I go climbing and I didn't fall. Doesn't mean I don't need a rope the next time. Anything like that. I didn't drown in the water today. Doesn't mean I don't need a buddy tomorrow. And so it's always, it's about prevention and risk assessment. And, my risk assessment was stay off the beach, stay out of the water.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the tsunamis reported, and it'll go further back to like the late 1700s, right? Unconfirmed report, but it also would say a tsunami probably occurred, and then it gives you even more information from 1809, 1825, all the way to August 8, 1993.
I remember that one,
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm aging myself. But, yeah, I remember I couldn't stand up. Like, I was just kept falling over.
Yeah, magnitude of 8.1 earthquake caused $200 million in damage. The tsunami was recorded at APRA. Waves about 1.8. High washed cars into the ocean. I don't remember cars getting washed into the ocean, though.
I don't either, but we also didn't have, Instagram back then, and everybody, shooting their videos. It's
yeah.
So, so it's like, it's not the same as it is now. Like, the news didn't quite travel that fast, but
Understood. So
wait,
what?
Let's stay on the 1849 for a second.
Okay, yeah, for
this
sure.
is really interesting to me. I'm gonna read here.
Okay.
This just demonstrates a bit of Guam's history right here. At Pneumatic, 3 waves came into the bay. The captains of 2 whaling frigates reported that they were anchored in 96 feet of water. that receded and left them high and dry for 5 minutes. So, like, the water pulled out so much, they were just on dry land at that point. They lost their anchor chain on the third wave, and the ships probably had a draft of 15 feet. But yeah, whaling frigates. We still have whaling frigates here back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. Let's see. Oh, and this is another big one. A seagoing canoe with 8 Carolinians from Sarawal arrived in Agana. They claim to have survived a great earthquake and ensuing flood by climbing trees. They had remained on the island as they lacked boats to leave. Many perished on the island of Sarawal, and some were left behind. The survivors reported that the earthquake had occurred 2.5 moons ago at about 3 p.m., at about the same time as the Guam earthquake. And so some survivors from that earthquake eventually sailed here like 2.5 months later.
Wow.
So yeah, this is tsunamis aren't a joke. I know we don't think so, but it's there's reports of it. There's records.
Right. Yeah. Wow. They do a really good job of describing all of these events. So I'm following along with you there, and so I don't know if you wanted to share another one. Otherwise, I wanted to ask you how you were, what you were doing, and how. I mean, obviously you put the video together, but what other conversations were you having with those that were tracking what was happening since 9 in the morning all the way until about 6:30 at night?
I wasn't actually kind of reaching out to any friends in particular who would be in the know in these situations. I was just following the same reports as everybody else.
Right.
You know, after 2011, I felt like, this isn't my first rodeo, right? I remember where I was trying to get down into Tumon to pick up my girlfriend from her work, and they wouldn't let me drive down because we didn't know what we were doing back then. So they just tried to block off all of Tumon. And and so I remember hearing the stories. I used to work in a hotel back then, and they evacuated everyone up to the 10th floor, and then kind of later on, there's like, honestly, the second floor would have been enough. And so I feel like, okay, worst case scenario with the information is not that bad, but it's still bad enough to like not be on the beach and not be on the water.
Right. Absolutely. And so I don't know if you've had these like conversations, because we're all like critics afterwards, right? But I wanted to ask you, did you kind of, looking back 24 hours later, how the messaging was going out? And so I don't know if you have any like a thought process now on how you were receiving information.
I was satisfied with getting good circulation on all the WhatsApp groups, and then Homeland Security, and of course Islet Brothers at the National Weather Service.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Did you see any questionable? What I saw was footage people were sending of, look at this is what is happening in Russia, and I'm like, no, this is a compilation of stitched videos of all earthquakes at different times in different places in the world. Did you see any of that stuff circulating?
No, I didn't catch any of that, but what do you call it? I guess I more or less expect those things to happen, and sometimes people will do it in bad faith, but I think sometimes it's just people not sure what they're looking at.
Right.
And what is that? Okay, this probably isn't they probably changed the name to something more politically correct, but when I was a kid, it used to be called like Chinese whisper, like you whisper something to the next person, then something gets lost in the transference to the next person, and so on.
Yeah.
Or is it Chinese telephone, something like that? And so it's probably, I would, just give benefit of the doubt. It's probably someone's like, hey, check this out. This is the history of whatever. And the next person is like, hey, check this out. This is what happens with tsunamis. And the next person, hey, check this out. This is happening right now. And so, what do you call it? Yeah, I don't remember if I saw any of those. I didn't feel any overwhelming urge to correct anyone on anything. But also, it's kind of a short time period, right? We had only a few hours to to kind of digest and prepare for what was happening and about to happen.
Right. Yeah, and I really just want to bring it back to how you started your Instagram reel, because I felt the same way too. Until 2011, until getting into the media and to better understand, how to prepare for a tsunami, I thought as a kid, the reef's so far out, that's a barrier, and then the Marianas Trench would protect us. And so that's not necessarily the case. And I just wanted to throw this out too, because have you ever seen the buoys that track the data for waves? Have you ever?
If I have, then I didn't know what they were.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of buoys out there.
Yeah. I was just curious because I'm trying to better understand that as well. They recently activated what they're calling backyard buoys, and I was able to track the waves with these backyard buoys. But I'm not necessarily sure if these were the buoys that they were, and the data that they were distributing out were the ones that was tracking wave actions all the way from Russia. I don't think that was the case. But right now I can open up a link to these backyard buoys. That one's in Hoggett, and I can see what the swell is right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if National Weather Service use those. They have their own buoys, and if you ever go hard into the National Weather Service website, it's easy to get real lost in there, and they have products that aren't even available to the public. So I had Landon show me some things, for example, with the weather radar, and it's a lot of basically all of it honestly goes over my head, unless he's there to point to the number and tell me what it means.
Same. I mean, there was the one report from the Office of Civil Defense was even giving us estimated times of when we could see these swells, right? Not just 2:37 p.m., but other times that I noticed over at Pago Bay or Apra Harbor, right? They were in Alahan. They were giving other times, and I was wondering, how are they getting that information? How are they getting that data? And so it's from these buoys that are out there in the ocean. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's empirical and not based on a model. I thought it was based on a model.
So see, that's what I was maybe now that you say model, now I'll ask Landon to confirm that because
sound travels much faster through water, and sound, vibrations, forms of energy, travels much faster through water than through air, which is why you cannot tell your stereoscopic sense of hearing. The difference it takes for a sound to hit one ear versus the other can kind of help you triangulate, for lack of a better word, where a sound came from. And you can't do that underwater because it hits too fast. It's faster than our human minds and can perceive and interpret. And so, but anyway, the speed of wave of energy traveling through the water is calculable as far as I know. So I thought it was based on models, but maybe there's a hybrid, model and empirical, system to predict these things. But I'm just guessing. Landon's the man to talk to.
No, for sure, and that's why I always appreciate these conversations, right? Because with you, because that's kind of like your thought process. You're always curious, right? And then when you are curious, you bring in your audience into your curiosity, and then you're not just educating, you're entertaining us.
I started with the other way around. I got to entertain myself first, otherwise I'm not going to do it.
Got it. I appreciate this, Farron. Thank you so much. You always get my attention with those videos, and not just the way that you shoot it, but also the concepts too. I mean, it's always very relevant, and you're doing it in such, I feel like, in real time. Like here we are talking about tsunami alerts and whatnot, right? And lo and behold, a video came up about the history of some of the tsunamis that date all the way back to the 1800s. And so you're always on it, my friend.
Thanks. And before I run, if I could just share one last little thing.
Yes, please.
I got a comment from @FlyAntoinette, and it goes, "I'm sorry, I've lived here all my life and never heard of any of these incidents. Cars being pulled into the water? ?
Yeah.
And I replied to her, I'm like, yeah, hey, they didn't have the internet back then, but let me cite from this article again. There's actually a few incidents involving cars. And personal account in the Pacific Sunday News by fisherman Tony Guerrero.
Right.
It was fishing in Pago Bay. It took, what do you call it? Let's see here. Water came up to his legs. A wave dragged him and his truck out, and he was water rose up to his windshield, and he couldn't open the door because of the water pressure. And then when the water backed out, he rolled down the window. Sounds like a hand crank back then, and then escaped by climbing into the truck of the bed. Another guy said his truck was inundated in the parking lot below the bridge at Elig Bay. Oh, here's some more names. Maria, Rosario, and Fabiana San Nicolas were stopped at Talofofo Bridge because there was a gap between the bridge and the land, and the area was flooded, and the water rose to the windows of the car. I think on my video I said some cars were being pulled out, and so there's just a listing of cars being affected. Maybe only one being pulled out, in fairness. But it wasn't an exaggeration.
Yeah, even several graduate students told their instructors that they were snorkeling or boogie boarding behind the University of Guam Marine Lab. They reported that the sea receded and then left the water. The water withdrew and left the reef dry. The sea returned, but the students didn't give an estimate of the run-up height. A family was at a weekend picnic at Taragi Beach on the North Shore when the water was seen bubbling and the sand swirling. As the family began to drive away after the earthquake, they saw water come over the reef. It was 3 feet high as it passed their truck. The tide was at low stage. Even the mayor of Inalahan did not see any unusual activity of the sea afterwards. He had to clear debris from the roads, which was brought in by the sea waves that were about 2 feet above the high water level. Oh, I remember the Jungle River tour boat. I remember that in the Talofofo River.
They're in that. They're all over this article, so I'll let you read it at your own leisure. But they kept getting hit. It's just like, oh, here we go again. Fish all along the riverbanks, and the water came up and receded. So they're listed in there a few times. It's kind of interesting. What's his name? Is it Dave Taikinko? It'd be interesting to talk to him and see if he has a memory of that.
The owner of now it's called Valley of the Lati, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I will probably reach out and see. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for bringing attention to all of this because I had no idea.
Oh, happy to help.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Farron. Anytime I need help, I'll reach out again.
All right,
okay.
Dude.
All right. Take care. 4:29 in the afternoon, Wave 105. Issa's going to take care of this break for us. She's got a whole lot to say. Also, thanks to our sponsors and the Real Deal Traffic Report.
Before we get back onto our CBS news brief, I do have a traffic report. Let's see here. I am not too sure if they are still there. But there was a accident northbound on Route 1 in East Hagåtña. This is in front of the Alupang Beach Tower affecting northbound. Emergency vehicles are on site, blocking the farthest right lane, so be on the lookout for that. Slow traffic on your Route 1 in Hagåtña if you're heading northbound to the intersection near the Chief Kapua Park. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Muning if you're heading northbound to the intersections that lead to Route 14 or near the John F. Kennedy High School. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. Pavement striping and marking activities will continue along Route 1 from Route 8 to Lupang Beach Tower. Work hours will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Intermittent lane closures in both directions are expected during work hours. Motorists are advised to plan accordingly and proceed with caution. And that is your Real Deal Traffic Report here on the Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 470 Auto or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 470 Auto. Shout out to our friends over at McDonald's. Blueberry and cream pie is back. They have it is warm, flaky pie crust filled with blueberry and vanilla flavored cream, available now only at McDonald's.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Department of Public Health and Social Services confirmed on Tuesday the presence of one case of Portadella pertussis on Guam. Public Health said that the case is a 3-month-old unvaccinated child, marking the second case of unvaccinated children since the start of 2025. An epidemiological case investigation and contact tracing have been initiated to determine the source of the exposure. Public Health's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Robert Leon Guerrero, said in a statement that preventing the spread of vaccine-preventable diseases like pertussis is essential to protecting public health, and that he encourages residents to keep up to date with their vaccinations. Pertussis, commonly known as whooping cough, is a vaccine-preventable disease and is highly contagious. Pertussis can lead to serious complications, especially in infants, such as pneumonia, dehydration, seizures, and brain damage. In more news, the measure to rename the southern village of Asan to Asan Maina was advanced on the session floor yesterday morning. The bill's author, Senator Tello Taitigui, said in a statement that the change means more than changing place names. Taitigui said that the renaming preserves Chamorro identity and honors generations of late. The legislation comes in direct response to Resolution number 2021-01, adopted unanimously by the Asan Maina Municipal Planning Council, which called for the restoration of the village's traditional names as a matter of identity, accuracy, and respect. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, The Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
CBS News Brief. An Arkansas man is under arrest in the killings of a married couple in front of their 2 young daughters Saturday. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
For a family to have to go through and deal with that level of tragedy is something that no one should ever experience.
The NTSB is holding hearings on the deadly mid-air collision of a passenger jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C. last January. Chair Jennifer Homendi.
It's always easy for people to focus on there was a pilot error here. We don't know. We're going to look. But it's possible there was zero pilot error here.
The Federal Reserve did not lower interest rates Wednesday, as correspondent Nancy Cortez reports consumers are watching their wallets.
In a new CBS News poll, 51% of Americans say they plan to pull back on optional purchases in the next few months. Only 8% plan to buy more.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Toscano.
Americans are still shopping a little more every month, but we're doing it in a different way. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Retail spending grew at a healthy pace last month, but shoppers are increasingly seeking bargains. For example, consumers spent a little more dining out, but said they're cutting back. The explanation is they're going to less expensive restaurants. Shoppers are buying groceries more frequently, but spending less money per trip. Spending fell for furniture, electronics, and appliances, where prices are starting to rise from tariffs. Consumers are even looking for bargains in luxury goods. Over a quarter of U.S. adults say they've cut back spending on luxury items, and the same proportion say they've bought refurbished or used luxury items. Economists say this is the way consumers behave in times of economic uncertainty, a trend that could last a while. I'm Jeff Colvin.
A cool way to keep cool. This is Sound Bites, and I'm Alan Davidson. Summer's a trial when the temperature's high, especially on those nights when even the AC can't cut the steam. So here's a tool that can help keep you comfortable whenever you feel hot or cold. It's the Ember Wave. Think of it as a personal temperature control. You wear it on your wrist like a watch, and at the touch of a button, the Ember Wave generates cooling sensations that radiate from your wrist all across the rest of your body. And if you're cold, it can make you feel warmer. You can control it, so the effect's never too much. Those hot summer nights when the air hangs heavy in your room? Ember Wave can help. Hot flashes, night sweats, or feeling cold? Quick relief can be a touch away. Learn more at embrlabs.com. With Soundbites, I'm Alan Davidson for CBS News.
The new and improved Chili's 3 for Me deal is here. Starting at $12.99, get a drink, an appetizer, and an entree. You heard right. You can get a Coke, chips and salsa, and an old timer with cheese for only $12.99. Only at Chili's. Great food and value happen here.
Think you've got what it takes to win? Tune in every Friday on Wave 105 FM with Patty Arroyo for the Hilton Trivia Challenge. Test your knowledge and you can score dinner for two at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. It's brought to you by the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa only on Wave 105 FM.
Attention parents, give your child the most well-rounded curriculum for elementary and middle school students taught by the best in their field. Mount Carmel Academy Charter School offers Chamorro, music, and martial arts in addition to a robust reading, math, and science program from instructors that include Mel Cruz, Bert Sardoma, and world champion DJ Jackson. Take advantage of this opportunity. Enroll your child today at Mount Carmel Academy Charter School. Call 565-5128 to reserve your child's spot now.
Feeling hungry? Local Jerk's got the cure. Our Denancy and beef jerky are so good, you'll be back for more. Veteran and locally owned, we bring the heat. Check out localjerkguam.com or find us at your favorite stores. Tendeninda, Uggan Store, or Tatuhen. Local Jerk, the hottest jerk to hit your mouth.
It's the July Freedom Sales Event at Guam Auto Spot. Drive home a brand new 2025 GMC Canyon for as low as $336 per paycheck, or the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for just $198 per paycheck. Active and retired military members get special discounts just for serving. Plus, check out our huge selection of quality used cars, priced to move. Get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Celebrate freedom. Drive with AutoSpot.
The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Code School of Guam. Learn, code, and lead the island's first coding boot camp. Your future in tech begins with us at Code School of Guam. GTA, we start with you. Local Jerk. Spice up your life with the hottest jerk to hit your mouth. Follow Local Jerk 671 on Instagram and Facebook or visit localjerkguam.com. Micropack is open at their Timoning and Mall location. Make sure to follow their Instagram at Micropack671 and Micropack Inc. on Facebook for exciting deals and promotions. Sentinel Security Solutions, Guam premier provider of professional security services. Sherwin-Williams, the wet season is on its way and your roof needs to be ready. Don't wait for the blazing sun or the pounding rain. Get ahead with weather-ready coatings. Be smart, be prepared, and ask Sherwin-Williams. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go, we deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Now it's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Munning if you are heading northbound to the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. Slow traffic on Route 16 if you are heading to the intersection near the Harm McDonald's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 16 in Barragata if you are heading to the intersection near the post office. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Anigua if you are heading southbound to the intersection in front of the governor's office. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. The DPW contractor will continue grass cutting between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, August 1st, weather permitting. On Route 1 Marine Corps Drive, Route 8 Barragata, Route 10 Barragata Manila, Route 16 Barragata Harmon. The DPW asks motorists to please proceed with caution and remain alert for traffic control signs and work crews. And that is your Real Deal Traffic Report here on the Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 470-AUTO or view their inventory on their their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Autospot 478 Auto.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Be my cradle, be my womb. Nascego, my misnabo. Be the stillness of the moon. My dollar is sky horns to a place I never knew. Bipito, get home to a light that leads me back to you. I did
All right, welcome back to the Brightside here on Wave 105. We should be getting a phone call from the Public Information Officer of Guam Visitors Bureau, Lisa Bordalio, right? Because they have been talking about this Tuesday night market. Tuesday night, Sunday night market. Who's doing a Tuesday night? Is Hoggett still doing a Tuesday? I know tonight is Mangilau. And then tomorrow Village, right? So Wednesday night market actually was canceled yesterday, right? Because of the tsunami advisory. So they were telling everybody when we were talking to the president of the Tomorrow Fairs who oversees the Tomorrow Village, they weren't telling anybody that they needed to evacuate, but they were just saying, listen, we have this advisory and we are asking that people stay away from the beach area and whatnot. And so here's the information. The vendors, chose, and he said it's not, if you want to close up. It's better safe than sorry. And so vendors were closing up shop. And so he made the call a little bit after 2:30, 3 p.m., because most of the vendors were already gone, that they were just going to not have Wednesday night market, right? But so Guam Visitors Bureau, they've been talking about the Sunday night market, and they had to postpone the Sunday night market. It was supposed to be last Sunday, but of the tropical depression that was coming through, just terrible weather. And so here we are now set for this Sunday. And so here's Lisa Bordalio. She's going to be hanging out with us. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate this.
No problem. Pauly, Hafa Adai, everybody. I am just so crazy here. Everybody is tsunami safe.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate even having the conversation with Kyle yesterday, right? How you were addressing it. And so I just kind of wanted to give you an opportunity real quick before we get into the Sunday night market, how after the debriefs and whatnot, what was shared?
With regard to
with GVB, with visitors, and what did you see? I know my dad was being interviewed by KUAM, and he was sharing how they were going around Tumon Bay, and just kind of like what you were sharing with us too. You guys were, while you were talking with Kyle, I have an idea that my dad was talking to KUAM just about going up to visitors at the beach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure it was all the same because we, thanks to your dad and to our and GPD and our visitors safety officers and our beach safety officers and the park police. So we called everybody, nice. and we activated everybody to get down there on the beach and make sure all the swimmers and beachgoers were were sent further inland, and then we closed up the gates and everything, and they stayed out there for a while to make sure that it was safe.
Yeah.
And we did our best to communicate down the line with the tourists, but also we work very closely with GHRA and of course the direction comes from Guam Homeland Security.
Right.
And once those advisories come down to us, then we share them with all our members and with GHRA and all their members. So we cover, all of our partners in the industry, the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And we created some, graphics and GVB, our teams translated them into multiple languages so that they know what's going on. And,
right.
We had them put up in the trolleys, and we sent them to all the hotels and everybody and asked them to post it up. And that's we did the best we could to get the information out, and so I think everything turned out well, and I really am appreciative of your dad and the teams, the VSOs and Park Police, GPD, everybody who went out there to physically do what they can. Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to be utilizing them, right, all weekend into Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to thank them in advance for all of the help that they're giving us for everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And on the lighter side, this 2-month night market that we've got coming up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, they are helping us with the planning. They're helping us with the traffic control and safety of everybody down there. And if everybody doesn't already know, with the million announcements, we are starting up our 2-month night market. It's going to be a weekly thing every Sunday evening from 5 to 9, starting this Sunday, August 3rd. And it's going to be down there at the Pleasure Island we're blocking off the road from
So you are. That's what my first question was going to be. So you guys will be set up on the road?
Yes.
Okay.
We're blocking. So it's going to be, if you've ever been to our barbecue block party, back in the day, it's going to be this, same place, similar.
Got it.
Yeah, only there's not the barbecue competition, but I believe there will be people barbecuing as part of our food vendors. We've got over a dozen food vendors that'll be, camped out there. And there will be tents and pop-up vendors and interactive activities all throughout that area on the road. And then also, we're inviting the existing businesses down there to, come on out and offer a Sunday special, or have and participate in some way so that people can also stop in to their businesses and
I have to say, when I was a teenager, my favorite nights was when Tarza did teen night.
Yeah.
And the 2-month night block parties, because you guys would set up, GVB would set up stages on the road, and you'd have musicians, bands, performers. It was just it wasn't, for me, I didn't even think it was being put together for tourists. I thought you're doing it all for just the people of Guam, because it was something that I felt like the entire island just came down and had a great time.
Yes, and that it's kind of the same, So we want to do the same thing and have all our residents come out, and support a different type of, we're looking to supplement, not compete with the Wednesday night market at Chamorro Village. It's just that it's on Wednesdays, and we have a lot of, our travelers, our visitors. They're here for an average of 3 days, so some of them miss it. So on the weekend travelers, we want them to be able to experience it, but also, because it's on a weekend, we want the public to come out, and we're looking for a community gathering of both residents and visitors.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be advertising it, right? So you want the whole island to come down there and enjoy it too, right?
Yes, of course, and that's why we put it all over our social media, and we've been talking locally to all our residents about it, because we want everybody to come down and have a good time. And that's the thing, and of course show our visitors, because it is in Tumon, but what they look for is they look for local interaction. And so, let's show them some local style
absolutely
local style partying,
Because you know what, when you guys were unveiling this once again, the 2-month night market, right? I visioned it to be like Myeongdong or in Osaka, what is it, Dotonbori? And you know how it's super packed, right? I envision that Tumon Night Market can be super packed of just residents and visitors, because if I'm going to Myeongdong, I don't want it to just be tourists. I don't want it to look like a tourist trap. I want to be mingling with everybody. And you know what was really cool about in Myeongdong? There was one vendor, street food vendor, that was wearing a Stussy Guam shirt, and she said she regularly sees tourists from Guam go there, and so it would be so cool that Tumon Night Market will never go away, and 10 years from now, people just coming back from your Asia markets looking forward to this market.
Yeah, that's the idea, is we want it to be continuous. We can only go until the end of the fiscal year, right now.
Okay.
But if everything works out well and stuff, then there's always that opportunity to extend it, because GVB always has our signature events, and those are once a year, like the Cocoa Road Race or the Micronesia Island Fair. And we'd like to have a signature event every quarter, but this is different. We'd like it to be like a signature series where everybody can look forward to it happening, every Sunday. Now,
right.
Yeah, I'm, and because there are businesses around, rather than hurt them, we'd like to help them. And I think that with the foot traffic and everything, and they're right there, we're hoping that it increases business for them as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I think also, what we don't want is vendor fatigue either, right?
Yeah. And you know what? There are actually a lot. I know we've got over, and this is the difference between the barbecue block party. Back then, we had probably half the vendors we have now.
Okay.
But because we had the barbecue competition, and the space was different. But this time, we've got like double that. So we've got over 45 vendors. Now, I don't know if I'm not sure if all of them will be. I think all of them may be there, but we keep getting inquiries from different kinds of vendors, and so we want to mix it up. Like they'll commit and they'll be a vendor for five Sundays, or for so many Sundays, and then other vendors can come in so that nobody gets vendor fatigue, and the customers don't get tired of the same vendors. So we're hoping to change it up. We do have our big stage right smack in the middle of the block, and we will have live bands.
Hey,
and everything.
okay, so you are. I wasn't sure if you're like just gonna do like a soft launch. You know how the kids do soft launches now?
Yeah, no, we don't do soft launch. We do hard launch.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you do got the stage set up. Nice.
Oh yeah,
okay.
we've got a lineup of bands that are going to be playing, back to back, and
Sweet.
We also hope that it will evolve. We want to do dance performances as well. We want to have different types of entertainers. We were even thinking about. So I always tease Craig Camacho. He's our events guru here. He's the one who puts together all the big events.
Yeah.
And I tease him because we secretly scheme, like, yeah, let's do a theme night, or let's change the theme every time. So there's always creativity flowing.
Yeah.
And we'd like to make it, as it grows, rather than just continuing like the same style. We'd like to add different elements to it, so that there's something new all the time.
The only question that I really have now, knowing that you are blocking off the road, where do we park?
So we have a couple parking options. They're behind DFS Galleria.
Hey, we're not allowed to park there.
Hey, but we're allowed to this time.
Okay, good. Okay. Every time I try to go to Tarzan, you're like, you can't park there.
So they're going to allow us. They're going to get some foot traffic, especially, from the front, and they do have, parking for their customers, but they are allowing their back parking.
Nice.
For public parking.
Okay.
And there also is the parking lot across from Sandcastle, and Paul Mendiola was telling me today that. Oh, you mean the Club Zoo parking? And I said, no, bro, that's the Onyx parking.
The Onyx Park. That's another place I'm not allowed to park. Or you have to pay for parking. Is it paid parking?
No, it's not paid parking. It's free public parking.
Okay.
So everybody, the Sandcastle, they're on board, for this. In fact, they'll be having a beer garden in the area in front of the Sandcastle, and because that's where we're blocking off the traffic, and it is on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
We're allowed to use that parking lot across the street. So
that's right.
What's next to there? Savage Sandwich or something like
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, so that parking lot will be free. But we're also encouraging everybody. It's like, if you're going to come on down, why don't you just do the whole shebang and ride the red trolley?
Oh, so you are doing the bus pickups and whatnot.
No, we're not doing a bus shuttle, at
Okay.
least not for the launch. For initially, we don't have a parking shuttle where we've, how usually our events, we have another parking structure like JFK or something.
Okay.
We're not doing that for this. People can park, where they like. They can park at IPA, but we're encouraging them to just, take the regular shuttle, shopping shuttle, red trolley,
okay.
or whatever. Or also there's stroll.
Yes.
They could use stroll,
Yes.
ride sharing, or carpool.
Yeah.
Just to make it, easier on the parking. So
Where's
that
the
there's not.
closest trolley drop off?
We are allowing the buses to come through, so the buses will turn around. The existing routes will turn around at Doucet Place or
Okay.
Doucet Beach Resort.
Okay.
So they're going to go in there and be able to turn around, and then from the other side, from the I guess the south side, they can turn around at the Sandcastle. So they'll be able to turn around right at that intersection. So the buses will come all the way to the beer garden in front of the Sandcastle, or where
Got
the,
it.
the public
Yeah.
parking.
Nice.
Yeah, and then at the Doucet.
What about, because I know I don't want to discourage aqua customers, right? Or how do they get, if they're trying to get to Aqua or anywhere in Doucetani, how do they get in and out of that area?
The traffic control folks will allow for buses going to those places into the Doucet, like where the Doucet is, and you turn in between the Doucet Beach and then the Doucet Tawny, the turn in there. The buses and guests of those hotels will be able to go in there.
Okay.
But as far as the public, they'll be turned around at that spot. So
Got it.
yeah, they can
Got it.
enter in DFS and park back there, or like I said, across Sandcastle. But otherwise, some people are planning to park further down and do their walk,
Yeah.
on Sunday evenings and just
Yeah.
go. Yeah, we're thinking about, should we add Zumba in there and just have everybody, start off their Sunday afternoon with a little exercise and then, and walk the place and then eat some good barbecue afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. It's a long time coming. I'm glad that you guys brought it back. Is there anything else that you want to share? What is it, 5 to 9 p.m., 10 p.m.?
Yes, it's 5 to 9.
9, got it.
5 to 9, starting this Sunday, every Sunday down at Pleasure Island.
Got it.
Free admission for everybody, and there's a lot of cool stuff, not only the food vendors and pop-up shops and kids' activities, but we've got immersive activities as well. I know that at some point we've got like Sling Stone. We want to add a Chamorro cultural element because, that's one of the reasons we're doing this is want to bring a little bit more culture down to the Tumon area.
Wow. Okay. So you're not afraid that you're going to break the Tea Galleria glass?
I'm not afraid.
Everybody better have really good aim.
We had a safety meeting today, and GPD was in there, and they're fully supportive, and we know that they're going to be present and make sure that everybody's on their best behavior. And,
Nice. I'm looking forward to it, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. And I just thank you and the team over at the Guam Visitors Bureau for continuing to not only find things for our visitors to do, but for us here in Guam to do. Right? That's what is your slogan? Live.
Our mission is to make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
There you go. Live, work, and visit. I love it.
Yes.
So everybody's we're looking forward to see everybody down at the Pleasure Island, 5 to 9 p.m. for the Sunday Tumon night market that's going to be going down every Sunday. Lisa, feel free to just send me anything that you got leading up to Sunday, and I'll share it too.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thanks, Pauly. Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
All right.
Okay.
5:01 in the afternoon. We got to go because on the other side, Congressman Jim Moylan is going to be calling into the show as well. I've been tracking the legislature, and so I'm not sure what has been happening, but maybe they're voting now, but when they started at 4 p.m., there was some kind of confusion about the budget bill, and so I'm not quite sure why they were even talking about that and talking about dates down the line. But I was waiting as late as 4:40 to see them vote. So maybe they are now. We'll take the break. KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Toscano. Arkansas State Police have arrested a suspect after a couple was killed while hiking with their 2 young daughters over the weekend at a northwestern state park. 28-year-old James Andrew McGann of Springdale was taken into custody Wednesday and charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the deaths of Kristen and Clinton Brink. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
There's a long road ahead, and the grieving process has just begun. And I hope that our entire state will wrap their arms around this family.
Arkansas State Police Major Stacy Rhodes says Clinton Brink and the family were new residents.
He just recently moved here and had gotten a job to work at a local school here.
The 2 girls, 7 and 9, were not hurt and are with family members. The National Transportation Safety Board is holding public hearings on that collision between a passenger jet and an Army helicopter just outside Washington, D.C. last January that killed 67 people. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says technology is an issue.
And we're not just talking plus or minus 70 feet. What you heard from that panel is all these components have allowable errors, which are additive. So it could be 70 plus 20 plus 25 plus another 20.
WWJ Radio's Jeff Gilbert tells us the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety finds the U.S. has a higher highway fatality rate than other wealthy nations.
Pedestrian deaths, cyclist deaths, highway deaths among young people, all up in the U.S. but down in Canada. Insurance Institute for Highway Safety researcher Rebecca Wiest says much of this involves enforcement.
We know that red light cameras reduce crashes. We know that driving faster results in more fatal crashes.
Wiest says among 29 high-income countries, the U.S. has the highest highway fatality rate. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
The tsunami alerts have ended from Japan to Alaska. The ocean waters returned to normal, and millions of evacuated people returned to their homes. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
The massive earthquake that hit eastern Russia jolted the Kamchatka coast, interrupting a surgery, damaging several buildings, and triggering a tsunami that spanned half the globe, from the northern Pacific to South America. The waves, traveling at least 500 miles per hour, first reached Japan, causing only minor damage, nowhere near the destruction of the tsunami in 2011 that claimed more than 18,000 lives.
Brown University reached a deal with the Trump administration to regain federal research funding and end discrimination investigations. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The FDA says some energy drinks are being recalled because they have a bit more kick than should be in the cans.
Beverage brand High Noon is recalling some of its vodka seltzer packs because some cans are mislabeled as non-alcoholic energy drinks, creating the potential for unintended alcohol consumption. The FDA says some 12-packs say they're the Celsius Astro Vibe energy drink, but they're actually alcoholic seltzers. The affected Celsius cans have a silver lid instead of a black one. The recalled packs were shipped to distributors in Florida, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A new report from Indeed says tech job postings in July were down 36% from 2020. Tech CEOs cite AI as a reason for layoffs as they aim for efficiency. But economists note that AI might replace some jobs and will also create new opportunities. Entry-level tech jobs have been hit the hardest. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Here for the community. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 5:07 p.m. and that is your time check on the bright side on Wave 105.1 FM.
We're excited to announce that we're hiring for a variety of positions with some of Guam's most recognized and respected brands, including Coca-Cola, Foremost, Chili's, Glimpses of Guam, Subway, Good To Go, and Cinnabon. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take the next step in your career, there's something here for everyone. Explore current opportunities and apply today at applynowguam.com. Your next great opportunity is just a click away.
The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Code School of Guam. Learn, code, and lead the island's first coding boot camp. Your future in tech begins with us at Code School of Guam. GTA, we start with you. Loco Jerk. From our family farms to your family table, savor the freshness. Follow Loco Jerk 671 on Instagram and Facebook or visit LocoJerkGuam.com. Micropack is open at their Timoning and Mall location. Make sure to follow their Instagram at Micropack671 and Micropack Inc. on Facebook for exciting deals and promotions. Sentinel Security Solutions, delivering operational excellence in protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. Sherwin-Williams, rain's coming fast. Are you ready? Defend your home with Sherwin-Williams Loxin. Engineer for Guam's dry to wet season shift. Built tough, made to last. Protect what matters today and ask Sherwin-Williams. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good To Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Now it's that time for your Real Deal Traffic Report here on the Bright Side. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Munning if you are heading southbound to the intersection, and that leads to Route 30. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Munning if you're heading northbound to the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Upper Tumon if you are heading northbound to the intersection, and that leads to Route 16. Slow traffic on Route 16 if you are heading to the intersection near the Harm McDonald's restaurant. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. Pavement striping and marking activities will continue along Route 1 from Route 8 to Alupang Beach Tower. Work hours will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Intermittent lane closures in both directions are expected during work hours. Motorists are advised to plan accordingly and proceed with caution. And that is your Real Deal Traffic Report here on the Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 470 Auto or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot 478 Auto.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
I ran into this girl the night before. She reminded me of a golden shore. She was nothing like your average girl next door. She liked DVDs, tattoos, and Paramore. She'd say Hafa Adai, por favor. And I'd say sad dispenser to Gaigi Kulor. She'd paint colors round the galaxies and more. I ran into this girl the night before. She gave away to light my world for just a moment. And who says song and how that do?
All right, welcome back to Brightside right here on Wave 105. It looks like they just started to vote on the bills that have been moved to the third reading file. They're on Bill 139 now. Our number is 671-922-1051. Actually, we're scheduled to get in the congressman, Jim Moylan. I believe he should be calling in any moment now. Let's see. Yep, he is going to be calling in. So we're keeping our lines open for the congressman. And then I'm also listening. So Bill 139 has passed. Let me see here. Bill 139 is Senator Shelley Calvo's bill relative to establishing the Foster Care Bill of Rights, and to cite this act as the Foster Care Bill of Rights Act of 2025. So that bill has passed. So we're in for, if they start at 5:13, I think the Brightside's going to be over before they get out of session, right? Because they've got over 30 bills to vote on. They're now on Bill 110. They're going to also vote to see if those nominations for boards and commissions will pass as well. They'll vote on the confirmations for boards and commissions, and then there's some vetoed bills that they're going to try to override the governor's veto. And then my favorite part is brief extension of remarks. It's my favorite because, depending on, if you got your bills passed, it's basically their evaluation. Each senator gets to talk and they can say whatever they like. Just can't say names of the other senators, but they can throw shade. They can throw shade, and every now and then they will. And so that's what I'm, after all of these votes, obviously that's the important part. But then we get to hear the brief extension of remarks. And the person that knows all about that is Congressman Jim Moylan. Hafa Adai, Congressman.
Pauly, good to hear your voice, man. Glad to be home, too. Hafa Adai.
It's great to hear your voice, sir.
Well,
and
thank you, sir.
Appreciate you calling in. So I just want to ask you, am I exaggerating when I say this is an opportunity for senators to throw some shade in the brief extension of remarks?
I'm here for the people of Guam. However it goes, it goes.
No, because, you're a congressman now, right? But when you were a senator, right, was it pretty entertaining like I think it is?
Oh, my goodness. I can tell you, I couldn't tell what's going to happen the next day in Guam Congress. However, when I got to D.C., that just took it to another level.
Really?
We have our own individuals, no matter what party, that are very interesting. And I think what's important is that we make sure we get enough people to run for whatever position they want, because this is important to whether the territory or the nation. So please, to our younger generation, come on out there. If you choose to run or any inclination, but please, we do need, of course, voters, and we need people to run for whatever political office they so wish.
Understood. I want to get into the supplemental security income. I just saw that Equality Act. And so, Ken, I just looked at it, right? It's something that your office had just sent over to media. And so what is it that you're trying to do? It would let people in Guam and other U.S. territories get federally disability benefits that we don't have. The CNMI has it, right? SSI?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they also worked that in when they got their Commonwealth situation, right? Which was very good. But even more so that Guam should have that as well. So the budget situation, as you can see with the current administration, we're doing all these changes within federal departments to reduce our deficit. And we did introduce this since the 118th Congress, and I'm not the first one to introduce it as well.
Right.
These things just take time, and also who's in charge and what's the priority and what's happening in the world situation, as we can see today. So priority in this term looks like we're cutting back. However, it doesn't mean that it still can't happen as we hopefully get out of this continuing resolution, get a budget passed, and that's why we still introduced it. As long as we can find the funding that we need, then we're okay, and that's going to be our plan. We have to find the funding.
Yeah.
You want to take more out of the federal government when we have this deficit? Show us how. Of course, we would say, well, you take from wherever. We don't care because this is important to the people of Guam. Why aren't we getting it? You don't have to fund this or this or this. You're making it more difficult for something that we so deserve and should have. And we've heard of the struggles, of course, with the two twins that we introduced this bill under their names to support them because they had to be separated because in order to get the SSI for that benefit. And there's many more Chamorros that would return to Guam if they had that availability to do so, but it would cost them way too much money to come back home. My goodness. A loss of income, tremendous amount of income to support those that qualify for the SSI. So it is there. It's a matter of now you got to negotiate it. You got to run it through the chains. It was introduced, and so I'm hoping once we get this budget passed, when we get back in September, that shall happen, and then we can move forward with a whole bunch of other good measures we got going. Get into what we can support. Get into the business that we're supposed to do, instead of going back and forth and trying to play games between the majority and the minority as well.
It reminds me of RICA, though. This has been a fight that we have been, Senor Robert Celestio has been fighting for so long. And so when you've said it's about funding, but when you compare the people in Guam to other jurisdictions, we're a drop in the bucket. And so how are other jurisdictions that have justified for RICA to have them get qualified and passed and given the proper funding, and we're not, and we have less population, and so I saw this article and news story out of Idaho, and the Senator Crapo, who's a Republican, had said, well, the problem is Guam doesn't have a congressman and doesn't have a senator. He said we didn't have a congressman.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yes. Yes, that's so unfortunate, and well, that's why we need a voice in the Senate. Hopefully, one day we shall.
Yeah.
This was introduced in Congress, but the situation. Well, we do have the majority, but we don't have enough of the majority to make this happen. But Utah was fighting with us.
Yeah.
New Mexico wanted to make it happen. We were behind Senator Hawley I was there with other representatives and other states to fight for it to be inclusive of the new measure. Now that RICA has expired after those 20 years, Utah was concerned that look, more people into the pot, it's going to take away what we should have had. So they fought us. My fellow members in Congress fought us to ensure that their state had the money to support until the end of RICA. You have more people into the pot, there's only so much money, and maybe the members of the state couldn't get it. That was kind of selfish.
I don't understand that whole rhetoric too, right? Because Senator Crapo says it's all about the relationships that you build, especially for Guam, who doesn't have representation in Senate. And then he said, Congressman, maybe he's saying that you don't have a vote in Congress, and that might be it. But you've been doing that hard work, right? Not just you, Congressman Mike Nicholas, Congresswoman Bordalio, Congressman Robert Underwood, right? And so all the way back to Congressman Wampat. And so you've been building these relationships. And so who are our allies?
So the pot got even smaller when the new administration came on board and said, look, we got to cut back because the deficit of the United States is just ridiculous.
Right.
We need to bring everything back. So then the money became even tighter, and that was the concern. And Senate was helping us for a while, but it came down to either Senate was going to put their state in or put Guam in. So they bumped us off.
Understood.
But we have introduced now the measure to include RICA under the House as an amendment. Now we can move it forward. We just got to get our budget passed, so we can get out of the CR. And of course, we're not going to let the federal government close down. But we got to get out of the CR situation. Let things settle down. The border is secured. Small businesses are getting their tax breaks. People of the United States are getting the tax breaks. No taxes on what do you call that? Tips, Social Security, no taxes on that.
Right.
Loan free, all those things that the president that the president has promised 77 million voters that put him in. We codified it in the House and approved through the Senate to the OBBB, right? And now we let the dust settle, and now we can get on to real business. Especially for the people of Guam and the NDA.
Well, yeah, the real business, right, is the missile defense system. The real business is our environmental, the impact study. And so the governor said that her and her team are still looking at that. But have you looked at it? What are your findings? What are your concerns?
Yes, certainly. And I already had my meetings with the admirals as well.
Yeah.
They are working closely with the government of Guam. We have to do things right for the people of Guam. It's very hard to make sure everybody's happy. So we can take it to a point that we're doing the best that the federal government is doing the best we can to protect the people of the United States. That means Guam. And if we can stop this aggression from coming this far, then great, right? We're not going to do any. The federal government doesn't want to do anything to damage the environment, especially our water resources. Because what's going to happen? We're going to fly in all our water. Then there'll be no members of service to run our machines to protect our missiles, right? We can't destroy our environment. So I think it's as we move along with this slowly, there's a lot of planning to do to ensure things are done properly. Then I think we can have the conversation will continue to the point where, we feel more comfortable. The initial part was, shock, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
And now we just have to let things kind of settle and work it one at a time. And I think I was with the governor today as well. And, we're looking at this logically. Our purpose is the governor is the island of Guam, the people of Guam, and likewise, it's the voice of Guam in the federal side, too. And to see this through to the end, we're voicing our concerns. And I truly tell you we are, and so is the governor, too. And with our new admirals, they're listening as well. Once we find that things are not doing properly and just avoiding things, which I don't think is the case, but that's why we're here to ensure it's not.
Right.
But if it does come, we will raise our voices, that's for sure.
Well,
In the
PCIS
meantime,
is
I'm
also
focused on
saying
getting
that
the funding.
PCIS is saying that the air missile defense system is actually providing a false sense of security. Did you see that statement from PCIS, which is also former Congressman Robert Underwood?
Yeah, well, my opinion is this is what we need to fight our aggressors. Our aggressors have more than enough missiles they can to point in our direction. And the objective of the United States is you can't just point at one direction. We have many friends as our allies, as we have shown in this REFO Pact exercise with over 450 planes and 12,000 soldiers and guardians, 300 guardians as well, spread across our allies from Japan, Korea, Great Britain, and there's one other, Australia as well, showing our unity and with the second island chain. So history has shown from the Spanish-American War to World War II and coming again back to the United States, we are a target. The whole second island chain is a target too. All the war wrecks you see throughout the Pacific is not because they didn't have weapons, it's because they were undefendable. And because of their key location, it made the aggressors just like easy prey. You know, the Marines were on Guam in December 8th when we were having the Santa Maria Carmelin, and they had to give up. We didn't have enough defense. Having less in defense means you're just a bigger target. Having more in defense, we're just doing it as a deterrence to say, you mess with us, but we'll blow you out of the water. You come with your jets or your planes and stuff, we'll blow you out of the sky. But we're not the aggressors. So just leave us alone. Let's be diplomatic about this, and let's continue the free waters of the Indo-PACOM so we can all become good citizens of the world, right? Not just our own little worlds, but the world in its entirety. So we must have the defense to do this, and without it, we're sitting ducks. And that's why it takes time. Our focus with previous administrations in D.C. was focused more to the east. China saw that. China has their own objective, and they're continuing to show what they've done in preparation for this. Now we're catching up. So we will have the defense. I've had experience with the REFO Pact with just over the weekend. I landed on Saturday night, and I started with the REFO Pact on Sunday morning with the Secretary of the Air Force, Dr. Milik, and the 4-star General of Air Force Indo-PACOM. For the next 2 days, we were just focused on the operation and had incredible briefings. And the force of the United States Air Force and all these missions, which took 2 years to plan for this exercise, was incredible. They had lessons learned, and they gave good recommendations. And the Secretary of the Air Force was so attentive, really listening to the whole situation. Then we dropped on a plane on Monday morning, and we took a C-130 out of AP Wampat Airport, flew over Rota, flew over Tinian with the back down. You know, we were tethered into the back, and we're sitting up like in the back of a pickup truck, just waiting to fall out of the C-130 with the Secretary of the Air Force, he and I. But we didn't. So fortunately, we landed safely, and we landed in Saipan from there. And I had the Representative Kim Hines there, and the mayors were there, and the governor was there at the Pang.
Are you going to be at the funeral tomorrow? Are you going with the governor?
Unfortunately, well, I wish I could. However, we have an important command ceremony for the communication side with the Guard, and that's really important for our Indo-PACOM. So I had to balance that out. But I was there on Monday to give my condolences too. So
we read aloud your statement too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So really, the defense of the island is what it is. It's the defense of the island. To put your guard down and say, look, we're friendlies, can you just pass over us? They're going to occupy us. We've seen that since how many times already?
You know, everybody wants the release of the Epstein files. I want the release of the Lincoln Labs report. Where are we with that Lincoln Labs report that was mandated to be released?
That's a good point. I haven't looked into that myself, but that's a good point. I wish as well. But the Epstein file, of course, that's just a distraction.
Yeah,
that is putting us
I
further
agree with
behind.
that. I agree with that. My question, I want to know what's in the Lincoln Labs report, because that's affecting us here in Guam.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It is a distraction, and I'm frustrated as well. It's like, why are we focused on that? There's so many other things that we need to focus on. Housing. Our housing crisis, right? And so I saw that you had a statement, right, that you put out saying that you are advocating to have DOD civilians also get those benefits, OHA benefits, right, to have that too. The issue that I have and other people that have called in is that OHA is affecting the housing price. And so how are we going to solve the real issue of lowering the cost of homes?
Yeah, so it's our labor is also a situation for us, since our skilled labor on Guam, whatever's left, is going on base to build at a federal income level payment. But we did introduce a measure for the governor to have the authority to take care of the H-2B workers, plus the hospitality as well, and not have to just keep on reintroducing this into
the per diem is a big deal too. GHRA has a really good point. Why are we not at least matched with the CNMI?
Right, and we should be because of our importance. That's what we have. We have a shortage of homes. If we can just fill that up, then we'll be better off. And so hopefully this will work, and I just have to go and fight some more to make it happen. Of course, we're going to extend the H-2Bs we into the 30s.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have to keep on being extended.
Also, what about that conversation with the military to, focus on making sure that their members are housed on base and fill up that inventory and focus on also building more housing on base to free up the housing inventory outside of the base?
Yes. So in the NDA, we include our office put in an additional $210 million for additional housing on base.
Got it.
So we're trying to fund that so it doesn't stress in the meantime.
Right.
So it's unfortunate we're so far behind. I think we're either 4,000 or 6,000 residents that we should have available that we don't, which is in addition driving up the cost. We're looking at solutions to have the governor be able to have the authority to look. I need these H-2B, not only contractors, but I also need hospitality too, because we just don't have the workers here.
Right.
So I just got to get back and resolve this. Right.
Yeah.
And I think once I get the budget passed for the speaker, then we can move on to important things other than Epstein stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're here for a while, right? And so I also want to give you, unless there's other things you want to talk about, but I heard you on Vet Talk, and you're here with an outreach event for veterans, right? August 29, August 30, 11, 3 p.m. So for those that might not have heard that conversation yesterday, if you wanted to share that with us now, and then also, I know that there is a town hall meeting scheduled at Ordot Salampagu, right?
Absolutely. I want to thank the mayor for that, too. It's kind of the central location.
Yeah.
And we'll send you the flyer. We also have a QR code in that if they want to send in their questions in advance so we can speed up the process. So town hall and we're bridging, we call it's a bridge for the one at Micronesia Mall, bridging the federal side with local side where we have the Guam VA office. We'll have the VA office from TGen. We'll have Hawaii out here as well, and different. I think we're trying to get the passport as well too. But different agencies, federal agencies, and a lot has to do with the veterans. Oh, the CBOC will be out there too. To give them an opportunity over the weekend to come to our beautiful mall, Micronesia Mall over there, and sign up a one-stop shop, right? While you enjoy your weekend. So we're promoting that, and especially on the passport. Our office does deal with the passports, but it's for emergency purposes. It's so hard to see when people need to go off for an operation someplace to realize I don't have a passport or my passport's expired, and I had to send it off immediately, or we're still waiting for it, and we're using our process, our signature to say expedite this. But it's really important, even if you have no plan to go travel anywhere. If an emergency happens and that person needs to get off island, the passport is one of the important documents that you need to help you travel. That if you can get to the Philippines, especially, instead of just going so far to the Hawaii or even further. So that's one of the things that are helpful. And then we get into the town hall meetings, and I can brief our residents here of what's happening in D.C. and also listen to them about a whole bunch of other stuff that they are looking at as well. Like today, I also had a meeting with Inaraha Mayor, and we'll be seeing the postmaster here, and,
nice,
as well regarding their box service, and the Hagat Mayor also trying to help it expedite this and push this forward. That's why it's important to get home more often than not, so I can voice these things to the federal government.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you're making time, making your rounds. Thank you for making your rounds with us here on the Brightside. I greatly appreciate this. The signing of the Organic Act tomorrow, 75th anniversary. Any thoughts on that? I heard so the 901 talks. You 902 talks, right? When I was at the press conference, they played a video that you said that you were advocating for that. What CNMI has, that you would advocate for that for us.
Yes. So they have mandatory meetings, at least annually, with the White House to have direct access. So this is in addition to the Department of Interior meetings, and there's other levels we can. So we're really trying to increase our communications with the White House to let them know. And now's the best time to do this, since everybody's looking at us over here. There is so much money coming into our island for the purpose of national defense and protecting citizens of the United States, which are tomorrow people, right, for that. And here's what also we need, right? We need help with our roads, our hospital, our education system. Our government, our GRT is not enough to give this population growth, or for us to support it enough to make it happen and work for the whole island, our roads as well. So this additional communications with the White House through the governor, who's the captain of our battleship right now, is important. It would take an adjustment into our Organic Act, and why not? So the Organic Act was in the 75 years ago, and that was supposed to. That's just a start. Now we had to build it stronger as we learn and what we need to do. Then we can change this. We can have our constitution. We should have our plebiscite. We should have a vote, and we should take it forward. So it's a start with the United States, with the freedoms we have, with the choices that we can make on how we want to be in that relationship. You can't do that with a communist country, but you can do that with the United States as long as we're united here. That's why I've been working really closely with our governor, with our legislature, and our agencies. So when we all get to D.C., we're all coming together as one voice. And then how can they object? Look, you're putting all this money for the defense of the nation here, in defense of people of Guam. Here's what we need to survive. Support us. We're all alone in the Middle Pacific. They're
calling us the frontier now. They're calling us the Western frontier.
Yeah. I'm going to get on my horse and fight some spurs.
Oh, gosh. So here's
right off to the sunset. Yeah.
So here is the question, too, right? So you're talking about the White House, and this is my last question. You're talking about the White House, and there's conversations here that, DOJ needs to look at us. So what are you hearing at the White House or with your colleagues in Congress or the Senate? Are they concerned with how we're running our government? Because I'll get calls in saying, talking about government corruption, Doge needs to come to Guam and whip us into shape. So are they concerned?
Not. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Of course, we're all we get many grants.
Okay.
Coming on into the islands, and we had to follow the protocol or the procedures of the grants and reporting it back correctly. That's basically it. But I think that our local government, we're responsible for our local government.
Okay.
We don't need federalization to come on in and take charge of whatever account that is. We can do a better job.
Biba, I'm glad that you said that. I did not want to put words in your mouth, but every now and then it gets a little bit discerning, right? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. This show's called The Bright Side, but there are some concerns within our community. But I agree with you on that point. Like we need to be governing ourselves, and there's there's corruption all over the world. Government corruption all over. You were just talking about, if you think that our local Congress is a doozy, well, then you haven't been to the U.S. House.
Oh, my God. It's like,
Okay, see? All right.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
All right. Well, thank you, Congressman Jim Moylan. I really appreciate this conversation, and I look forward to many more. And thank you for responding to the questions that are not necessarily even my concerns. I'm pulling these from people that will call in every now and then,
Sure. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to be the representative of Guam and to speak out for the people of Guam. I hear the folks. My mother. I remember all the stories my mom told me, and she was part of the Meninga March as well. My father was in Pearl Harbor during the bombing as well. So, these are all taken to heart, and I'm building these relationships and getting the congressional delegations to come to Guam so they can understand, because we have a lot of history with the United States. We're growing with them. They have to grow with us too. And that's my duty to support the people of Guam, and I'm very thankful for having this. I'm honored to be in the position that I hold.
Absolutely. It is a very prestigious position, right? It's a difficult job, and so the people have elected you, sir. So thank you so much for doing the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Looking forward to the next conversation.
Woo-hoo. See you on the bright side. See you on the bright side,
Okay.
Man.
All right, Congressman Jim Moylan getting on his horse, riding into the sunset in the western frontier. 5:43 in the afternoon. We'll take the break, and then on the other side, let me go peek in and see what the legislature's up to.
CBS News Brief. An Arkansas man has been arrested in the murder of a married couple in front of their children on a hiking trail. Arkansas State Police Colonel Mike Hager.
Arkansas State Police Special Agents have arrested James Andrew McGann, 28, of Springdale. He's been charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the deaths of Clinton David Brink and Kristen Amanda Brink.
Transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve reports the NTSB is holding hearings on that deadly collision between a passenger jet and Army helicopter over the Potomac River.
They opened up 10,000 pages of investigatory documents, including transcripts from the voice recorder on board the airplane and the helicopter.
CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti says all tsunami alerts have ended.
We're here at the U.S. Coast Guard base in San Pedro, California, where ships were actually moved out to sea ahead of the tsunami and now returning back after the advisory was lifted. Fortunately, the worst of the waves never materialized.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Toscano.
Who's just barely making ends meet? I'm Mark Hamrick with the Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. A new Bankrate survey finds more than 1 in 3 American workers, 34%, say they are living paycheck to paycheck. That's defined as having little to no money left over for savings after covering monthly expenses. Financial struggles have been magnified by historically high inflation of the past few years. The cost of necessities like food, energy, and shelter have been ground zero for these price increases. This has hurt those with the least financial resources the most. Breaking it down, most affected, 2 in 5 Gen X workers, those aged 44 to 59. Unfortunately, there is no silver bullet to solve this problem. Ideally, workers will make more money over time and find it easier to save. And it would be helpful if inflationary pressures continue to come off of full boil, helping to restore Americans' buying power. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
Here's why budget-friendly vehicles may become harder to find and upscale vehicles easier to find. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune Magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Not surprisingly, it's all about the economics of tariffs. Lower-priced cars are heavily imported. That made sense before tariffs because offshore manufacturing was often less expensive than U.S. manufacturing. But now those vehicles will apparently be hit with significant tariffs. Of course, luxury vehicles may be tariffed if they're made outside the U.S., and if they're in the U.S., they may have to use tariffed steel and aluminum. But luxury vehicles have higher profit margins than low-cost vehicles do, which means those amenity-stuffed models can still make decent profits even in a world of tariffs. The result is that automakers will be more eager to sell you top-tier vehicles, and budget models won't be as appealing as they were. I'm Jeff Colvin.
Your travel mate, a VPN. This is Soundbites, and I'm Alan Davidson. When we travel, we all like to protect our valuables, and that should include online security. So if you don't use a virtual private network when you're away from home, you should consider it. A good VPN serves as a barrier, protecting your phone, tablet, or laptop when using public Wi-Fi, and protects your data and services from being intercepted, monitored, or even attacked by malicious actors. Think of it as a private pipe for your data's journey over the internet. By encrypting your data stream and masking its origin, VPNs give you a vital layer of added security. iVPN offers a fair balance of security and cost. It can keep you secure without breaking your budget. At ivpn.net. With Soundbites, I'm Alan Davidson for CBS News.
The new and improved Chili's 3 for Me deal is here. Starting at $12.99, get a drink, an appetizer, and an entree. You heard right. You can get a Coke, chips and salsa, and an old timer with cheese for only $12.99. Only at Chili's. Great food and value happen here.
Bolt your doors, lock your windows, turn off your lights, and come with me into the Weird Darkness. I'm Darren Marlar, the host of Weird Darkness, every Thursday night from 6 to 8 here on Wave 105.1. Every week on Weird Darkness, you'll hear 2 hours of stories of the paranormal, supernatural, legends, lore, crime, conspiracy, mysterious, macabre, unsolved, and unexplained. Weird Darkness, this Thursday night at 6 on Wave 105.1.
Subway introduces the Baja Bliss Collection. 2 all-new subs featuring Subway's signature Baja Chipotle sauce. The Baja Bliss Collection will satisfy your bold flavor cravings with Baja Chipotle Chicken and Baja Chipotle Turkey. Here for a limited time. At Subway, gotta refresh to be fresh.
Get ready to fuel up and save for your next adventure. For a limited time, Bank of Guam customers can enjoy 5% off fuel when you use your Bank of Guam Visa debit card at Shell stations on Guam and the CNMI, keeping your engine running and your wallet happy this summer. No codes, no coupons. Just use your Bank of Guam Visa debit card and save 5% today. Don't wait. The offer ends October 15, 2025. Visit bankofguam.com for promotion details. Bank of Guam, the people's bank. Member FDIC.
We've heard parents say, we want to send our kids to Mount Carmel School, but it's too far. To that we say, how wonderful for your child to choose their own path. What an amazing way to teach your children to go the distance and go the extra mile. Give your child the most unique curriculum on Guam. Enroll today at Mount Carmel School. Call 565-5128 immediately. Now the only question is, how far would you go for your child's education?
It's the July Freedom Sales Event at Guam Auto Spot. Drive home a brand new 2025 GMC Canyon for as low as $336 per paycheck, or the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for just $198 per paycheck. Active and retired military members get special discounts just for serving. Plus, check out our huge selection of quality used cars, priced to move. Get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Celebrate freedom. Drive with AutoSpot.
Now's that time for your last real deal traffic report here on the bright side. Heavy traffic on Route 4 in Orda if you are coming from Sinahania heading to the intersection that leads to Darrow Drive. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Tamuning if you are heading northbound to the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. Heavy traffic on Route 10A in Tamuning if you are heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. Heavy traffic on Route 1 and Upper Tumon if you're heading northbound to the intersection that leads to Route 16. Heavy traffic on Route 8 in Barrigada if you're heading to the Tri-intersection near the fire station. And now for your traffic advisory for the week. Pavement striping and marking activities will continue along Route 1 from Route 8 to Lupang Beach Tower. Work hours will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Intermittent lane closures in both directions are expected during work hours. Motorists are advised to plan accordingly and proceed with caution. And that is your last Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 478 Auto or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 478 Auto.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
ISLA, Guam is where I'm from. Kingdom of our people.
All right, welcome back to Brightside here on Wave 105. So watching the Guam legislature, I went and had to go back. Bill 30 did pass, 14 yes, yays. It's so weird to say yays. 14 yays, one excuse. That's Senator Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, who has been out the entire session. So I know that it is excused, but I'm a little concerned too, right? I mean, I hope everything is okay. So Bill 30 is the Universal Trash Pickup Bill. That one passed. And then Bill 68. And so Bill 68 it pertains to charter schools. And so when I watched the public hearing on Bill 68, things aren't all rainbows and sunshines over at the charter schools. There are some financial concerns over at the charter schools that Public Auditor B.J. Cruz brought up. And also the chairwoman of the charter schools, Vanjie Cepeda, was very concerned with the way these charter schools are using our funds, general fund money, and signing contracts, and who is overseeing them. And so Bill 68 is relative to the responsibility of liabilities of an academy charter school. And what was concerning was that if they sign a contract and then they don't fulfill the contract and owe a business or company, who is held liable? And so they want to make sure that it is the charter school and the board of trustees that is assigned to that charter school that will be held liable, that we, the government, should not be held liable to the contracts that they are signing. And so that one has passed too. Verna's on the line, and we are just days away from the official day of school to start for GDOE, but apparently schools have already started, according to the AG interns billboard, right? The big, beautiful billboard saying, FYI, hot girl summer is over. Hafa Adai, Verna.
Yep.
Hot girl summer is almost over for you guys too, right?
Officially tomorrow, but a bunch of us teachers have been going in this weekend and last week. You know what I mean? And I didn't leave my school till Elizabeth, you were still on the phone with the congressman. And it's just, I was making up because I didn't get to go in yesterday, and then because of that tsunami. So,
right.
Tsunami warning, a lot of us had to leave the campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything, just to be safe and everything.
Right.
But it's like, oh, man, that's a whole afternoon that we can't do anything in our classroom. But school starts a week from today, so get ready.
Yeah.
Traffic and all that.
Right. Hi, Dave. Thanks
and
for
kids
reminding
enjoy
me.
your time and everything, but I'm hoping parents are, getting ready and getting them back to their routine.
Yeah.
and whatnot. If you didn't start today, can you start by Monday? That's just a little request from all of us teachers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it can be hard to get back on the saddle, right?
It can. I mean, and we're adults. We know what we need to do.
Right.
But, the kids don't have better or pretty good coping skills. We're a little bit older, so we can figure out and cope, but they can't. So we need to be the adult for them and help them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're...
Because a lot of us are, I'm doing what I can and did everything I could, but there's still so much to do. And tomorrow we're going to be meeting with the teachers and, doing whatever workshops we need to do and everything. And hopefully it won't be too long because, man, Pauly, I've been at it for so long. It's like, can we just get in our classroom? That's always our beef.
Right.
Can we just get in our classroom? But we'll do what we need to do, and maybe we'll be in our classroom after lunch.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
But that's when the fun stuff starts, though, right? For you to get all creative and prepare the classroom.
Yes. There's just so much, and I'm excited because I've changed things up a little bit.
Okay.
And everything, and our theme is Lilo and Stitch, so it's been great. The entire school.
The whole school the theme is Lilo and Stitch. Wow, I gotta go see this.
Ohana, what I mean, and everything. And so we're excited. I'm excited because in my summer trip, I ended up buying a whole bunch of Lilo and Stitch stuff, which works itself out.
So that was just a coincidence?
It was.
Wow.
I even have Lilo and Stitch shoes from Walmart. Yeah,
That's
I mean, tennis shoes and everything that I'm going to break in next week and wear a little bit because I'm not going to wait until the first day of school to wear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I want to go check out your school. The whole school is themed out Lilo and Stitch?
Pretty much. Every year we have different themes, and this year it's Lilo and Stitch.
What was last year? I didn't know this.
Last year, oh my gosh, was it Incredibles? Oh, man.
I think
and then there's this one year that we had, what is it, Dory, Finding Nemo?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot of schools do that, and principals, they kind of have like this whole school-like theme, and it's up to you to get on the bandwagon or not, and I've been pretty good about getting on the bandwagon.
Yeah. You're a team player.
That's right. And the movie was awesome.
It was.
I loved it.
I did.
I loved it. And, and one of the nicer things that my son sent to me, our Marine, when he watched the cartoon version 2 years ago on the way back to North Carolina, he said that, let me make sure I get this right, Nani and Lilo remind him of me and my little sister Sarah. And I'm like, oh my God, that just touched my heart. So that's all I think about. It's like apparently Nani is supposed to be me, and Lilo is supposed to be my little sister Sarah.
Aww.
So for him to say that, that just sealed the deal. Okay, Lilo and Stitch it is.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about you, right?
Yeah. That just really touched my heart. This son of mine knows what to do, man. He can push those buttons.
Well, Issa's about to push the button for us to get out of here, so...
Okay. Tell everybody, see you next month, because that's tomorrow.
That's right. See you in August. All right. Take care.
Take it easy, everybody.
All
okay,
right. Bye. All right. Time for us to get out of here. 5:59 in the afternoon. I'll be on tomorrow. Mornings with Patty, Rolling with Dice, and Pauly. I'll be filling in 6 to 10. It's Friday, so you've got national programming. And then, man, I forgot to even look.
Tanya Eubanks
tomorrow, yes.
Covering for Pauly 2 to 6.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
And then, of course, the OG himself, Rand Kaufman, Edge of Heaven from 6 to 8.
There you go. So tune in to us tomorrow as well. You don't even have to go anywhere because I think that mystery show is on Thursday nights, right?
Weird Darkness.
Weird All right, you guys watch that. I'm going to be watching the legislature because they're not done yet. 6 o'clock on the dot. We're going to, everybody get home safe, right? Be kind to each other, especially out on those roads. Adios.
KGUM FM